Bad timing. I say I'm gonna go live, and he's like, "All right, I'll be right back." Oh, okay. I see what I did here. So there's an option when I click create scene or create room that I have to choose to show my thing down here. But if you guys can see me, that's all that matters.
Yeah, we can see you.
Because I can grab the link directly and see it on here. So we're good. That's good. It's a learning exercise.
Okay.
All right, so then you got 12 minutes and 35 seconds to figure out what you're doing for the next 3.5 hours. Everybody got Sirenscape open?
Oh,
Nope.
no.
Sirenscape. Who opens Sirenscape?
I do.
Only losers.
I do.
You guys, Benny's and adventure card should have already been reset.
Yep, I do see that. I've got a new fancy one. Last one wasn't. Last game I didn't have a super useful one because it was like, do this to a enemy wild card, and I'm like, we ain't gonna see no enemy wild cards this game.
Surprise!
Now this time I got something that do this to extras, and watch, we only see wild cards this game.
I use Sirenscape too.
Wow.
All right, Shocky. Say I want to play, or do you want to play?
That voice is called Creepy Doll, though.
Oh, it sounds like a
there you
creepy
go.
doll. That's why I was telling you to say, do you want to play? It's a very accurate titling to that voice.
What does this sound like?
Piano?
A single piano note.
Right. Like, and that's the sound clip.
Sounds like, ooh, ooh.
It's called Night City.
That's what I should have made. I should have made an uwu gamer girl who turned herself into an EXO.
I will PC you.
Over and over again because you're just gonna keep getting grabs.
Okay, I don't like Night City.
I liked it at the beginning.
Kind of jazzy.
I don't feel like it fits like what we're doing right here.
It's kind of like jazz noir, if that's a thing.
How about this one? This one's called Chilled Streets. Huh? What if we do Back Alley?
Oh no, my Prime sub has fallen
Ooh.
by the wayside.
Are you liking this one?
Yeah, sounds like a the music when you're like just touching down on a planet.
And, I also got sound effects too.
You gotta do that, like whenever you start shooting or anything, like specifically for your character, just go all out.
It's like, how am I gonna have to do this more as a player than I do when I'm DMing? I'm like, all right, so I walk up to him and I look at him. I'm like, let's go.
The hell was that?
An agent ringtone.
Why is it not letting me click on the viewers and see who's watching the stream?
I don't know.
Did they take that ability away?
I don't know.
I took that ability away.
Cindy, you see I updated my my picture on here?
Did you? On where? Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, did you make a custom one to fit it?
Mm-hmm. It was bothering me.
Oh, you know what I could probably do? That might tie in.
I think every time Vasio does his abilities, I'm just gonna go.
Is that a Doom sound effect? That sounds like a Doom sound effect.
Which one? The scream?
Yeah, it sounds like Wolfenstein, actually, you know.
Well, it's the Wilhelm scream. It's like the most famous scream sound effect, period.
Oh, it wasn't loud enough for me to recognize it. Yeah, now I do. That organ music, that's for Vasio goes bad and he decides to like step off a building and slow hover down to his victims.
And then you roll poorly on your light roll, and I have to go.
No, that's when you break out the Wilhelm screen again.
I'd have to build like custom. Well, I could probably do like something like that for like a Nova. That's supposed to be a lightning spell. That sounded terrible.
Sounded more like a babbling brook than a crackling Karen.
Charm spell. If we get into sword fights with Fallen, then we can.
But do they have the sound for when a Titan activates their super in solar? That's a damn good sound. Nah.
Man, that's one thing I miss about Destiny. I really enjoyed just shoulder checking people.
I mean, the only move that a Titan needs.
You could tell that John ain't played in a while. Anything melee related for a Titan, they just nerfed him to the fucking ground. They gave him a big badass fucking melee that you can one hit tap with, and they nerfed it in the ground like the first day.
Good. Fuck y'all.
How about this one? Or what about?
Sounds like
Yeah.
some ASMR shit.
But you're a solar hunter, so we either got to do a blade barrage. That was terrible.
That sounded juicy.
It was blade spell.
It
I was
was
hoping it would be a
wet.
lot more. I mean,
Your solar spell was wet.
it was his first time doing it. Of course, he was.
Right.
Yeah, I would
That's
have
what
to go with
happens when you
that.
forget to just turn on your cauterization beams before you start swinging around those swords.
It's a Megan.
Oh, we have a Megan?
Yeah, so for you, John, it's gonna have to be like do they have okay, so it'd have to be like and then
I mean, you're the Titan, actually. I'm the hunter. I think we've established.
well yeah, that's what I'm saying for the solar hunter. Sorry, solar hunter, it would have to be like activate the fire and then shooting off the gun.
Whatever hunter I am, I activate my super, and then everything dies with little effort.
You're not a hunter.
I just zip around the whole stage for about 20 minutes, and
And that's it.
Sounds like a taser.
It was.
Arc
was a
Super
taser.
Go! Tasers. I'm doing it, guys.
Ooh, I actually have a.
Light.
I could pull out my
Look,
bazooka.
Dad, no amps.
Pull out my bazooka and just. Hell yeah. Gonna figure out what type of weapon everyone has and just build something on it. I'm just gonna be sitting here staring at the soundboard the whole time. I just need to add the quick buttons to my Stream Deck. And just keep the Stream Deck right in front of me. And just kind of memorize. I got 3 rows, which means I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sound effects for each character. You just let me know what you're doing. I was like, pop,
And
pop,
you memorized
pop, pop.
most of them, but occasionally you just misclick and
And then you just get a.
I cast my super Wilhelm scream.
There's one. Which one is it? There's one that's actually called like Oh No, which that one right there was called Oh No. But there's one of these soundboards that has like the Oh No, and they'll actually go Oh No.
Do it.
sounds like some Smash Bros. Shit.
That's what you gotta do every time you use your super. You just use a super and it'll be like. that one offbeat. Woo!
Sounds like the Jackbox audience is what that sounds like.
What
Should you make a
about this one?
Semi-decent t-shirt. Sounds like someone's phone's ringing.
Yeah.
It
Who's-
was
was
resurrected.
Was that X's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
I want towels.
That was the best one. Yeah.
Hey, that was right on zero,
Emo,
too.
hope I never die. That
Hi.
ball dance hall polka never dies.
Welcome everybody. We're doing yet another Destiny inspired TTRPG. Sin will be GMing this yet again. So last episode, I never get to do this, so I'll just jump right in. So last episode, we started off our adventure. We were introduced to what we found out was a ghost, this little tiny robot that had this light on it, and it flew through this abandoned building, and its lights showing all of these dead bodies and all the disarray that's here in this abandoned city. And it stops on this one body, it scans it, and all of a sudden this blue light comes out, body stands up, and there is my character, who Barnes. Okay, so he did actually say his name at some point in there, so I could say it out loud. Who has a shotgun and a bazooka, and is wearing like a bomber jacket and like what looks like street clothes. And the ghost tells him that he is one of 3 people that are humanity's last hope, and the other 2 are also in this building. What luck. So we go through, scan another body, and up pops this blue robotic figure who unveils this sniper rifle and grabs this sword that we find out is John's character, Jantos?
Mm-hmm.
Jantos, perfect.
Your Jantos is awoken though, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's
Yeah.
awoken. Yeah, he had like the translucent skin, like the blue, purple translucent skin. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So he's awoken, and he is awokened, and he's a little quirky. He tends to follow directions given. He doesn't ask a lot of questions. But yeah, and then we make our way down to the bottom floor of this building and scan the third and final form, which is another exo. And that's where we meet Heathcliff's character, Vasio, who jumps up and... did you already have your weapons on your person? I can't remember how you...
It was under a little bit of rubble, but the strap was attached to me.
Okay.
It's like the shoulder strap was around my shoulder, and I pulled it out where it was just under some loose like drywall.
Okay. And the ghost proceeds to explain how we are humanity's last hope, that we've been asleep for a while, and that the area that we're in is not currently safe, and we need to find a ship. So as this is all being explained, we hear a noise from outside. We see this humanoid figure. We catch up to them, make conversation, to find out that they are part of some sort of faction that is here, and they were sweeping these buildings to make sure there were no threats. This female's name was Jade, and she was separated from her group. She didn't know where they went. Was being very, very forthcoming with information about how she was vulnerable and alone, and then beckoned us all back to her secret hideout, which I believe she actually used the word secret hideout or secret lair. Nothing at all seemed suspicious about this. And we followed, and we get back to the place, and everybody except for Barnes seemingly has some sort of problem with just walking into her place. And everybody decides they're going to start looking about. Jantos climbs up the side of this building using Barnes's grappling hook, and then learns that he can do a double jump, and he jumps across from one building to the other and finds like a sniper's roost, and it looks like a perfect area for like an ambush or a setup. Vasio stays lookout, but can't help but see all of the commotion with Jantos doing his double jump, so he decides he's gonna try to do a double jump and ends up just floating in the air, lands down slowly, and then, not to be outdone, forms this purple ball of energy and throws it out and makes this explosion. And amongst all of the commotion, Jade ends up coming back out like, hey, what the hell are you guys doing? You're really loud. You coming in or not? And we're like, yeah. We're just looking around, making sure everything's kosher here, and we weren't followed. She doesn't believe us. She goes back inside. We have the ghost scan inside the apartment, and we see that there are 2 humanoid figures in there, even though she said she was alone. So we call out to her like, hey, cut the bullshit. We know you're in there with somebody who's in there. And she's like, no, I'm alone. So I'm like, all right. So we all walk in there, First is Jantos with his gigantic sword. Not to be outdone with my little saber, I managed to focus my light power into it and burst it into flames. And then Vasio covers the rear. We walk inside there, and we're like, hey, we seen there was someone in here. We could tell there's someone in here. We're going to look around. And we start looking around. We find a door that's locked, and we're like, what's in there? And she's like, I don't know. I've never been able to get the door open. So without further beat, bam, Barnes kicks in the door, and there is this guy inside there that the door hits him. He drops his shotgun, and without hesitation, because I was told that she is alone and she'd never been in here before, I struck down with the flaming sword on this guy who was crawling on the ground trying to get his gun. At the exact same time, John Toes is with Jade, like kind of watching her to make sure she doesn't do anything fishy, and she ends up reaching for the weapon that we know she has, and without hesitation, John Toes, big old sword, cuts her down. And with her dying breath, you know, she lets them know that, like, oh yeah, we know that there's someone in there, but it was too late by then. They were dead. So kind of emotionless about it. Barnes kind of just sits down and, you know, grabs some of the food that's cooked. We look at the map that they have on the wall, and basically can determine like where we are, where we started at, and there's something on there that says it's a fallen nest, or
Yeah, they have it written as a fallen nest.
Fallen nest, okay. And we're just sitting here, and I think it was Vasio that no, it couldn't have been Vasio, because Vasio doesn't say a lot. Then it must have been Jantos that said, like, you know, what if the people come back here, the rest of her group? So I'm like, okay, we can't stay here any longer then. I guess we might as well just go out there and figure out what's going on. Our ghost seems to believe we're going to find a ship there or some way of getting away from where we currently are. So with the steadfast thoughts of we are humanity's last hope rushing through my system, I'm just like, fuck it. And we walk out the door and we head out into the black, foggy night of this abandoned city, this swampin' city, to go to this nest. And we hear the sounds of feet running through puddles. And that's where we ended it at. I think I covered most of the beats.
I think missed maybe two things.
What's that?
One, toward the beginning, when the ghost first mentioned light, Vasio threw off a random ass grenade because he has no impulse control, and he's like, "I can do this. Okay, try it." And we saw through the hole like some fallen or shit. Right? We saw something moving. There was like we saw, and we were suddenly quiet.
Yeah, that was right before we seen Jade. Yep.
Yeah, right before we see Jade, which Vasio did another grenade right in front of Jade, which put her on edge. Two, we can, well, obviously you can't hear Vasio, so I guess two, Vasio has not talked at all. But 2B, for those of us who can talk, we can hear each other at a distance when we talk out loud, which is actually how Vasio heard about the double jump, because you guys were talking about it and he could hear you in his head, so he's like, oh, I'll try that. But more importantly for tactics, so the audience knows, yeah, we can, for those of us who actually talk, can hear each other from any distance, but we have to talk out loud to do that. I think that's the only two that I thought of, yeah.
But yeah.
Unless John, unless you can think of anything, John.
Nope, that was pretty much everything I recalled.
Doing the recap saying I never get to do this, and we would happily let him do it. No, it's not the fucking point.
Why I never did get we were in the middle of a conversation, so I never got to ask, why did you call my gun a sandwich last time?
Huh?
I described my gun, and you said it sounds like a sandwich.
I said sounds like the Monte Carlo.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I mean, Monte Carlo's.
No. There's a weapon called Monte Carlo in Destiny that is an auto rifle with a bayonet. And it's one of the exotic weapons.
Okay.
So yours right now is probably more like a duty bound because it's not quite an exotic.
Okay. I just remembered it was a type of sandwich because I'm like, I was like, why is he calling my gun a sandwich?
What the fuck's the difference? Gun, sandwich, same thing.
Yeah, both of them are gonna,
Both of them
Kill
gonna
you.
fill you up.
one with hot lead, one with hot meat.
Hot meat bullets.
Oh, can it kill me faster?
It's just a bunch of
Man, you
paintballs
said
hitting you.
I got the most disturbing image from that.
All right, so we ended with Barnes walking out of the hideout, right?
Mhm.
Looking off in the distance.
Mhm.
Okay. So, just like the day you awoken, a few hours, who knows how long ago, nothing but silence, bugs, the sounds of a few frogs croaking in the distance, and you spot overhead one of the fallen ships that you were told about flying off in the distance to the south. From where you're looking, it's probably heading to your right side, from your left to your right, over the horizon.
And this is something we all three clearly see.
I think you were the only one that said that you came out at the end of the last episode.
It sounded like we were walking down the street, so I assumed we were following him.
Yeah.
Then it's you can clearly tell that it's darker now. The not much illumination, and the fog and mist around is making what little you can see even harder to see. But you can clearly see like the lights on the top deck of this ship as it's going across the horizon.
Okay. And can I tell? Does it look like the ship is landing, taking off? Can I like get any sort of like detail of what it's doing?
It does look like it's ascending. But from where it's at already, it's already pretty high up, almost to the top of most of the buildings.
You said it's ascending? It's going up?
Yeah.
Okay. So then if I see that, I'm gonna point at it and look back at my fire team here and just say, what's the chances they have another one of those?
Figure we can just take theirs, sir.
Looking over at Vasio.
Vasio just kind of Vasio does a the how the hell should I know shrug.
Okay, I'm gonna ignore my impulses to just like take off running in that direction, and just kind of motion, let's go, and I will ready the shotgun. Is it still canon? We heard like the footsteps before this happened.
Not footsteps, but like you hear like splashes and stuff
Splashing?
every now and again. Yeah.
Okay. Using that notice of 16, does it sound like footsteps or is this just random dripping splashing?
Random dripping. Sometimes you hear like a small crumbling off the distance, followed by a splash, which you would um, think is like some of the buildings pieces falling off.
Okay. Then I'll close the two halves of the double barrel, not really kind of like holding it out or anything, but like having it readied. And I'll start heading in the direction of like the buildings that I seen it, summiting behind.
Okay. And from where you're at right now, it doesn't look like there's a straight path to it. There's a few buildings that you can see that are in your way.
Okay. So if we're gonna have to like walk through like the rubble of the streets or something, I'm assuming.
Yeah. If you guys have the map up right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from the white dot where you're at, how do I mark on this so you can see?
Right click and then do drawing, the little pencil on the bottom.
Yep.
And then you just draw.
Okay. So you guys are like right there. If that popped up.
Okay.
Couple.
Right click on it and just do share again. And it should pop up for everybody. Hey, Simp.
The Chicago map.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
There should be an arrow coming from the white circle.
Yep. Okay.
So
Looks like a soft dick.
walking out and
Well,
some perky balls.
Yeah, like my flail in Minecraft.
So coming out and turning when you see the ship. This is where you would be about, and the purple dot is where you started, and it took a few hours to walk and navigate all the rubble to get to here.
A few hours?
Yeah.
Okay, so the blue dot's really far away then. So if I had to gauge just based on like seeing the ship off in the distance, where about did the ship come from? Because that's a few hours walked, and fuck, how long is that from the white dot to the blue dot?
We try to gauge this, like how long it would take to walk there, or how far away it is.
Yeah, mostly just trying to gauge, like, do I feel the ship came from the nest area, or did it come from an area before the nest? Because that seems like that would be a real far area to see a ship from in like a foggy day.
Just to remind you, Cliff, from the purple dot to the white dot, we were following Jane, or what's her name,
Right.
who is not a guardian.
Right.
So I mean, I think we'd probably go faster climbing through rubble if we don't have a human with us. Well, not a human, but normie.
And each of the like the sections in the map isn't like a single block or anything. It's like multiple blocks and stuff, but the lines show the clearest pass through rubble.
Okay.
So going from the purple dot to the white dot, you may be like 10, 20, 30 blocks of travel that just looks a little bit smaller on this scale.
Yeah, no like straight path to it either.
Right.
I mean, there is a straight path. We just got to get to the top of a really tall building and
Make that jump.
Just keep jumping.
Got this.
Okay, so to answer your question, what kind of skills? I forgot.
I mean, to know where the ship came from.
Yeah.
I'd say either survival, notice, or battle. One of the three. Those would be the three that stick out to me.
Well, battle doesn't seem like you'd be that.
Yeah, I don't
planning,
think battle. So, another notice roll or a survival.
Another notice roll? The first one wasn't good enough for you? It's because I rolled too good. That's why you want me to do that. Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah, I'm just going to roll with it. It's that way somewhere.
So you know it came from the direction of where the nest is on the map, but not too sure if it came from the nest or if it's taken a path or come
Can I
from a
make
different area.
Can I make a piloting roll to try to figure out where it came from?
Yes, probably gonna have a. Yeah, go for it.
That way.
So, with your knowledge, you would notice that it's wasn't traveling in a straight line, but it was doing an arc. So it may have been coming from the nest.
Cool. I'll keep that to myself.
But say, how you gonna communicate that to us?
It's like, I just thought about that too. I'm like, cool.
I love it.
So I'll keep that to myself.
All right. So, what's the plan?
Well, we have the map with us, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess holding it up, okay, so holding it up, I would probably, like, point on the map and say to everybody, like, all right, so we're here right now. Let's travel to this main intersection here up this way. And this is kind of the route that I would paint for, like, travel. And I would kind of run my finger along it and just kind of say, you know, this will be the route that I assume is going to be the fastest, assuming these streets are still active. And then I'll look to everybody else for, you know, their opinions on it.
Ready to go, sir.
Vasya is gonna lean in and look down at it, and he points at your route, and then he's gonna point at the thicker route to the left of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna just do this, and then just cock his head. Just hold his hands a little bit apart and then wider apart, and just kind of.
If we travel along the freeway, we're going to be more exposed, and if we take the local streets, we'll have more cover.
Gives a double thumbs up with a short nod.
Looks back over to Jantos.
He's just looking like, yep, ready to go, sir.
All right, so that's the route I'm going to start heading then.
Okay. What's formation and who's gonna be navigating and what's everyone gonna be doing during the journey?
Following team leader.
Guess I'm team leader. Sin, if you go into the party sheet, you can actually do on order. You can actually
Order B.
Party sheet, third tab down,
I see it.
and you can actually put us in marching formation.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess the way that we've been doing it so far is me, then Jantos, then Vasio. I don't know if that's where we want to keep it or not. I mean, having the guy that doesn't say a whole lot as our
I was gonna say have the guy who can't have the guy who can't scream be the one that's in the back where no one sees him get picked off.
It's like, what is he trying to tell us, Snipe?
So I guess that's how we're doing it.
About to run into some assassin vines type shit that's just gonna pull Vasio off.
I don't think I can drag.
You should be able to drag it from the. You might have to do it from the
our
top
faces
left.
on the left.
Yeah, not from inside the party sheet, but from the very, very top left, where we are on the top of the screen.
Oh.
Most of the shit you have to do from there. It's really weird how they do it.
Oh my god. Do I not have permission for it?
I mean, it doesn't really do much other than for you to remember how it is.
I figured out a way to do it. Okay, so Barnes, you're gonna be navigating, fire team leader.
Yeah.
Anyone else
I'm on the
doing
lookout.
anything? All right.
Just keep it in a lookout. Yeah.
Okay. Survival roll for Barnes and notice for Jantos and Basio.
You know, I'm just gonna fully play into the role of fire team leader here. So my survival rolls are gonna be at a D6. Oof. I could have did that unskilled.
Progress.
Where's your wild die?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just regular rolling it. So hey, so I don't even have to. I'm gonna take my Benny back. Can I get my Benny back, please, GM?
No.
How do I do that?
At the bottom where the bennies are at, just drag it onto my face. There you go.
Do it.
Yep. All right, cool. So I'll stick with the 4 then. Nothing miraculous, but
Okay.
it's something.
Miraculous.
All right. Then you manage to stay mostly on the path and avoid most of the clutter and rubble for the first hour of travel. And while you guys are parallel walking with the freeway, Jantos, you hear some mechanical engine type sounds.
He's going to tap Barnes. Are you Vasio? Which one are you?
I'm Barnes.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna tap Barnes on the shoulder and hold up a hand, and then he's gonna point in the direction of the sound.
I assume since I'm literally following him, I noticed that at least.
Yeah, he's like looking over his shoulder to make sure you saw that, him gesturing.
Okay. I'm gonna sort of look in the direction he's pointing. Do we see anything, or is it just the sound?
Jantos, you hear it coming from like on the other side of the buildings that you guys were walking parallel to. So from right now, you guys don't see anything, just the noise of it, like coming from down the street and in your direction.
How close are like, okay, so the building that you're talking about Is it a taller, shorter, or equal sized building to the one that we are? Well, we're going between them through the rubble, though, right?
Yeah, we're on the streets walking wow, parallel to the freeway is what he was saying.
Is there a route to get through to C on the other side of this building?
You're a guardian, of course there is.
The building.
Give me a survival roll.
I would like to support him in the survival role.
Good, because I'll do that.
Hold on.
Give me another one.
Okay. I did not assist. It was not a crit fail though. D6, I'm gonna need you to work with me, buddy.
Okay. From what you can see in your direct area, it's just like a large row of connected buildings. You're not sure if you go further one way or the other, if there's going to be a split in the building to get line of sight on the freeway.
Okay. But that must also mean they can't see us in theory.
Vasio starts tapping his chest lightly, and then trying to get their attention.
Yep, I'm gonna turn and look.
Vasio like holds his hands together in a ball.
You gonna do the explodey thing again?
I think he wants us to have the ghost.
Oh.
What about a ghost? Can you be our eyes on this one?
That what's required of me. The ghost appears in between all of you with its bright flash of white light and starts flying up and over these buildings. Oh, I forgot to open up a different page.
I'm over here playing all the electronical sounds that I have to make it sound like the noises that we're hearing. Hell yeah.
And
Can we assist him in noticing?
he already rolled, and he's kind of out of your range now.
You just shout directions up to him. The sound's coming from that way.
So after a minute of flying and it being up near the top of the building for a little bit of time, those of you that heard the engines can hear it almost parallel to where you guys are now, and those of you that didn't hear it at first can now hear the humming of the bikes. And as the ghost reaches the top of the building, some really unrecognizable chatter, just whispers, can be heard. Then a bright whitish blue flash scrapes atop the building where your ghost is, and you hear the sounds of the engine revving up and speeding away as your ghost ducks down and starts floating back towards you.
What the hell was that?
there were dregs. Some of the lower level fallen on their vehicles. I think one of them spotted me.
We're gonna have to figure out how to equip you with a weapon.
You're my weapon.
A secondary weapon.
And as I say that, I just kind of wrap my arm around and pat the bazooka on my back.
Like the ghost like lowers his head and like shakes it a little bit as it's flying towards you. Like, I don't like the sound of that at all. And the bright flash of white light as it disappears as it makes contact with you.
All right, fellas.
And then
Do we move in and be stealthy, or do we move fast and try to see where they're headed?
I agree with him, sir.
All right, I think that was an indication to move fast.
give me a notice roll from everyone.
Yeah.
As you guys are talking, Barnes and Vasio, you hear a few sounds of splashes, like footsteps hitting the water, off in the same direction. Then you hear the sounds of running for a few seconds before it starts to fade.
Well, given the conversation we just had,
Yep.
I am going to give Vasio a single nod, and then I am going to run in the direction of those footsteps.
Asi was running as well.
Are we running, sir?
Move your ass.
Ass is
Alright.
moving, sir.
How do you guys plan to get to the actual freeway from where you're standing?
So we heard the noise on the freeway?
Yeah, in the same direction that you heard the
How
vehicles.
high up's the freeway?
You can't still really see from right here. You know it's a raised freeway, so it's like has streets going underneath it.
So we're on like the ground level, and there's like an overpass above us, and that's where the freeway is, you mean?
Yeah, so you're on the ground level. There's a row of buildings between you and the freeway, but you know the freeway's a raised freeway.
I had the ghost overlook the buildings, but yeah.
And from what we can tell from just like walking along the freeway as long as we have, are these buildings near us, like of the size that like if we were on the top of the building we could see on the freeway, or?
Yeah.
What's the state of the buildings?
Illinois.
What is the condition of the buildings?
That be
I mean,
It's your world.
Chicago.
common knowledge.
like I'm more
There's-
like are they still straight up and down, or are they tilted over? Like what's
They're standing.
okay? So do they have like big fucking windows? Could I like just throw a grenade at a window and start running through the building?
Why are you gonna throw a grenade?
because
He has
of the
like
thing. Throw a grenade. What do you do with your grenades?
It's 'cause I don't know. I don't. You know, in real life, I don't think you can like jump through a glass window. Those glass that you like bounce off most of the time. I guess I am an exo. I'm made of metal. I could probably manage it. Yeah. So could
Do
I
what you
just
want.
Is there are the windows big enough that I
I'm for it.
are the windows big enough that I can like jump through one and try to run through the building?
They are now.
Okay. All right, I'm running at the building and jumping at the first window, and first wall I see is getting a grenade because I'm running straight.
Alright. Athletics?
Sure.
I'm like running around, like get to the side of the building. I just see
You
Vasio
just hear a
just
crash. You'll probably get around it before me too, but it's just like, Vasio's just like obstacle through.
Oh yeah, you completely go right through this weathered glass.
I guess we're going this way.
I'm following behind. Guess it's a little bit easier for me since how the window's already gone. And when do we see the big purple flash?
Yeah, unless this building like has a hallway that I just dived into going straight, first wall in my way is taking a grenade, and after that I'll try to find alternate routes.
You said this is one building separating us from the freeway?
Yeah, it's one continuous building, but it looks like it's like a shop area where there's multiple buildings side by side.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that. I'm just saying, like, so our goal needs to be to get on top of this building, not to the other side of this building. So I guess as you fucking light up the grenade, I'll I'll say through our interlinked comms.
We need to find a way onto the roof.
How tall was the building about? Like how many stories?
About 4 or 5 stories.
Looking for anything marked stairs.
Yeah, then I stop the grenade and just start looking around because, pull the purple back into my hand. I'm like, oh.
Just put it back in your pocket.
And squeeze it.
No markings of stairs right away. Jantos, you do see a hallway that bends around the corner as you enter, and Barnes through some of the cracks in the walls and just holes throughout this establishment, what used to be. You see stairs in the same direction that Jantos is looking.
Yep. I'm gonna call out stairs this way. And start heading there.
All right. Yeah, so I guess the game plan is going to be to keep navigating through the halls to the stairs. Hopefully it's a stairwell that just goes straight up. But game plan is going to be get to the roof as fast as we can.
I'm just following them looking for the stairs. What I'm looking out for is I'm trying to see if I can see out the back windows to see like how high the highway is to know how many stories we got to go up. Like if it's better to go up all 5 and jump from the roof, or is it going to be better to, stop at floor 3 and try to jump from there?
Yeah, it is a single stairway that goes all the way up. A few holes in the stairs every now and again, but you manage them pretty easily. And Vasio, as you're looking out some windows and the holes in the wall as you're going up, by the time you get to the 3rd floor, you do notice that you're almost parallel, same height as the freeway. You think if you go up another floor, you'll be able to jump through. If you go to the roof, you would have a really easy jump over to it.
Okay.
So, Vasio, just say something if you want us to stop.
No, I'm good. I don't want to get your attention, but since it's high enough that the roof would work, he's not gonna try. He's following at the back of the group anyway.
All right. And that's the game plan then. Still getting to the roof, and once we open it up, looking over towards the freeway, do we see any lights or anything?
Give me a notice roll.
I need to do a different dice color.
Is that 3 a notice roll for right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're laughing with a 5.
Mine's an 11 though, so.
Barnes and Jantos, as you go bursting out through the roof, as soon as you look over to where the freeway is, you do notice some lights and 2 vehicles off a ways away down the side of the freeway. But with 9 and 11, you also see on the other side of the freeway 2 people running away and bending a corner.
About how far away are the lights that we see on these vehicles?
So I didn't see anything, right?
No, you are at like the tail end of the group. So by the time you get there, you don't really see. If you like look off to where they're looking at, you can kind of
Oh,
see
no, I'm
the
not.
vehicles.
I'm not
But if
looking
you're
where they're
looking-
looking. If Vasio doesn't see anything, he's assuming we're still falling behind, and he's just jumping over to the highway. If he doesn't see anything, he's still trying to catch up to whoever we're chasing.
The
So he doesn't even
vehicles-
pause. He just jumps off the roof.
The vehicles that you see are about a quarter mile away now.
All right, so I'm gonna see the vehicles, look over at Jantos, who I'm assuming is giving me some sort of a nod of like, yeah, I see it too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just gonna begin like,
All right, so there's 2 of them.
and then I see Vasio already
Vasio
jumping
just
across.
fly past you. just
I guess let's resolve that, and then I'll continue with what I was gonna say, or it's gonna change what I'm saying.
All right. So athletics, then light for double jump.
Light first.
Light first. Okay.
Okay, now athletics with a 1. Jump, then activate your double jump, and the area around you kind of like ripples with this distortionist effect, and you start floating down to where the freeway is.
Perfect. And as I see him doing that in midair, I'm gonna just say to him,
Jantos, you see those? Vasio, time for a light show. Get their attention.
Grantos perches and gets in position with his sniper.
Vasio, with all the flair he has, throws his hand up in the air and attempts to grenade, but he just throws his hand directly into the air as he's floating down to the highway and shoots a grenade into the air. Oh hell no, I'm Bennying that. There we go.
All right.
Just to know how much damage that grenade is doing. 6 damage. That could wound an average person. That's fine. Just to know what type of explosion we're talking about. But Vasio throws his hand into the air as he's already floating in the air, so he's already, standing out there. He throws that up. Boom.
and it was a conscious decision to not do a super powerful one because we heard the ghost say it's the low level fallen, so Vasio wasn't gonna waste a bunch of light with a strong attack against some weak ass beat, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
the reason there wasn't a lot of damage is because Vasio wasn't focusing on damage. He was focusing on flair. He wasn't thinking about hurt shit. He was thinking about be pretty.
Presentation.
You can do a performance to flare it up a little bit.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to. 1 second. I was getting a glass of apple
See one
cider.
of those exotic emotes that have like the little laser light show and shit.
Does he get to roll the performance with a +1? Seems how he got a 4 on his light.
True.
All right, I'm
No
back.
plus, but I'll give you something if you succeed on this.
Hey.
Wait, that's
No, it's
persuasion. My
persuasion.
performance.
That's persuaded.
Damn it.
Oh damn it! I don't have performance. Okay, so that's a -2 then. So that'd be a 3.
How many bennies you got?
I ain't gonna Benny an unskilled roll. That don't got no plus. Fine. I'll Benny it. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna drop the Benny in chat though, so I can roll the actual unskilled this time. So I'm just dropping the Benny there. Then.
Big numbers, big numbers. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Hey!
Hell yeah.
Hey!
Hell yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
Fucking worth it.
he does a fucking spin midair, doing some fucking thriller shit. I don't know.
So, with the flare and the bright explosion of this dark energy.
Hey, Void has that white inside it. It's got.
Amidst the darkness, it stands out.
Yeah.
Those who do see the 2 vehicles off in the distance see them kind of turn sideways and are staring at this light in the sky. And off in the direction on the other side of the freeway, off on the floor where you've seen the 2 people running, you hear a small girl scream as the explosion sets off.
Did you kill a small girl?
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes. What's that small
Make
girl
an
doing
omelet.
up here on the freeway? Suspicious.
Where's the screen coming from? Direction of the vehicles, direction of the buildings. What's?
You heard the scream in the direction that you jumped from the building. If you would have kept going straight, that's where the
So opposite side of the
Screen
freeway.
Okay.
Alright. I'm not gonna say anything, but in my mind, they're not who we're after.
Right?
These vehicles are who we're after.
Yeah, and in case it wasn't clear, I am taking the aim action at these vehicles. So as soon as one comes into range, I'm gonna try and take a shot.
Yeah, you don't really notice them getting any closer, but you do notice that the light has gotten their attention.
As soon as Vasio touches ground, he's running toward the vehicles. Like a stumbling run at first too. Like it's like he's still not used to landing from floating, so he's got that moment where like one foot touches down and he tries to walk with both feet, and like the other one hasn't fully touched down yet. So he's like,
looking down this roof line, how far does this roof run parallel with the freeway?
A few 100 feet from where you're at, then there's a gap where there would be another street coming in underneath. Then another set of buildings continues.
Okay. Then I'm gonna look at John Toes and just say,
Follow the roof line all the way down to the end. As we walk down the freeway, if you need to jump across to the other buildings, we'll stay here, try to stay hidden and keep an eye out on them.
and then I'm gonna walk to the ledge and just sort of look across the gap at the freeway and just shake my head. And I'm gonna attempt to make the jump.
You got this.
Ugh.
Oh,
Light me with me. Light me with me. Do I even have to roll athletics?
Jump
Can
too
I
far.
Ah, fuck it. Roll athletics. Cause it. Okay.
Oh, I was about to say.
So I'm gonna run, jump across the ledge, and sort of just close my eyes for a second. And as I do, can I do like instead of an actual like jump, do like the shoulder charge across the gap?
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
So continuing with the idea of like the flare and trying to be like noticeable, either of you two that are looking or anybody really that's looking, I'm gonna close my eyes as I'm jumping, and all of a sudden you just see this spark as my body ignites for a second and rushes forward in flames, and as the flames fizzle out, I land on the other side, kind of in like a kind of like the superhero pose, right? Like a 3-point landing, but like more like a parkour 3-point landing. Like land it and then roll forward, and then I'm gonna continue running and trying to either stay ahead or keep up with Vasio. And at this moment, if it's not clear, I'm not trying to be stealthy. I'm not trying to be quiet.
And you gotta wonder what these fallen think. They ain't ever seen a fucking guardian before. we're like the first guardians, and this shit is like.
They're just sitting there like, brrr, what the fuck? You see a firework, and then all of a sudden to see this flame, this human-sized flame.
You guys saw that, right? Like,
As you guys are running towards these two on the freeway, you see one of them reach towards the back of their vehicle, grab something, point it up, and you see a flare get shot into the sky.
Can I interject? If Jontos is watching them and sees that dude pull something out, can he get a chance to?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's the distance now?
They haven't further gained any distance, but if you have been moving, or are you still holding the aim?
Was going to move like with them along the edge of the building, like kind of following along with them. But if he just landed, then I haven't had a chance to move yet. If he's been running for a little bit, then I'm kind of running and repositioning.
This is out of combat turn order, so everything's moving kind of at the same pace. So if you're moving while he's moving, then you could have been making progress this whole time.
I think the point is that he watched him shoulder charge. So if it's right after the shoulder charge, he was still there, but he's running. The purpose, it isn't so much turn order. The purpose is he wants to run alongside us, so he's not going to run ahead.
Right. So as soon as, if running alongside them means he comes into like a reasonable shooting range of them on their pikes or whatever, then he is going to drop to a knee, take aim, and fire. So it's up to you how that works.
Open. Grab this. Look at this. With them holding position and you guys moving forward, you're staying on the rooftops, which has a gap between the next one. If you make it to the end of that rooftop, you would have been able to cut the distance between them and you in half from a quarter mile.
So
Say you
mile.
can. If you hold your aim action, say you can make the shot with like a -2.
Does he get to roll like agility first to see if he can get the shot off before the Dreg gets the shot off?
For the interrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to interrupt and roll agility.
And now the Dreg has to roll agility.
Oh, that's an image. That's not the character sheet. Oh.
Hell yeah.
He has a D4, but I do this to him.
Poor Dreg.
He's a fucking Dreg. What do you expect?
All
These
right,
motherfuckers,
so-
you can one-hit punch the yellow bars. I mean,
Now, as far as
and is the -2 taking into consideration the aim action, or is this more of a running gun?
I'm considering that he's as soon as he got to the end of the building, he took his position again
Okay.
instead of like running, sliding into position and try to take it as fucking long range ape.
right,
W key. Why do you keep saying that?
What? Why does he keep sliding every time he's about to shoot?
alright, so
Hell yeah.
good enough.
That's a hit. I put him in the combat track. I don't know if you can see him.
I should probably
you see him
pull
now?
up my combat tracker.
I can see him. Yeah.
Fallen Dreg.
Yep.
Let's see
Oh,
if
I've never seen this from the player side. It's so puny.
I don't think I can target him though.
You'll have to actually hit the button to make it his turn.
How do I do that?
There should be like a down arrow you could do, or that, see that red flag? You can just click and drag the red flag manually.
I don't know if that did anything.
There it goes.
Okay, so now I should be able to boop. There we go. And let's see what kind of damage we can do. I wonder, should I reroll that? I mean, shaking is decent.
I mean, to be fair, shaking prevents him from doing any actions
Yeah.
unless he rolls his vigor too. Well, he'd have to have a. Oh yeah, he has a natural roll on his turn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You know what? Let's use a Benny and let's see if we can do a little bit better.
Hell yeah.
Oof, that's a little bit better.
I will take the second roll, Sin.
All right.
I just ignore me.
Oh.
I closed my fantasy rooms.
How far away are we? You said we're about 1/8 a mile away. With the city being in the current condition that it's in, if we were to like yell out to them, could they hear us from this distance?
With everything being complete silence around you except for your immediate area, you,
That 50 cal that just rang out.
it'll be safe to assume that most of what you say can be heard.
Yeah, maybe not understood because we don't know if they speak English, but you know, this isn't gonna work. After I see this figure reach behind and pull out the gun, and then all of a sudden just get taken off the vehicle, I assume. I'm gonna yell out.
It doesn't have to go down like this. come to us and give us some information, and we'll let you go.
How many dregs are there?
One more.
Yeah, there's a second one
Okay.
looking at the corpse of his companion.
I know we're not in turn order still yet. Is that correct, or
Semi.
okay? If it looks like he's gonna try to attempt to turn and run, I'm gonna try and fire again.
So you're gonna hold your action.
Yes.
You're gonna try to interrupt if he tries
Yes.
to move. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. After you finish yelling that, Vasio, are you still sprinting or?
I mean, how far away are they at this point?
Quarter mile or eighth of a
yeah.
mile.
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause, yeah, I'm sprinting until I'm in shooting range.
Yeah, you're a little bit closer than Barnes since you jumped across and started running first. Not too much, maybe like a turn or more ahead of him.
Okay.
And you just heard me yell out in the open like an asshole.
So we're still quite a ways away. So I'm gonna keep running, I guess, because I mean I'm not in AK-47 range or whatever I have.
All right. So
In fact, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll do it next round.
All right. So how receptive are they to my message?
how does this work?
Oh hey, it's next round. I'm gonna. I really want to shoot these guys. I really want to.
You don't understand how much.
So like Vasio is just pulling and pulling, and he just wants to. He's the fucking bullet in the dark, is what he is, and he pulls the void into himself.
You can, like I said, it's not just double jump. You can use the light to enhance your movement.
All right. Well, I actually paid for extra powers at character creation, so I have a couple defined spells, and that's what he's doing. He's casting boost trait with the shadow and speed up bonuses to it. So the fucking one sec, I've got to give it a -2 because it's got +2 from reductions, but since he's adding bonuses on, it's not going to have that. All right, so he boosts his shooting by 1 die as like the void pulls around him and cloaks him, makes it -2 to see, -2 to notice him, and his feet just start going faster as he pulls his. So, pace is 8, his shooting die is up 1, and then there's a -2 to notice him as he just starts kind of pulling the void into himself and speeding up.
So, that's gonna be your turn then.
Yeah, I mean he's also moving.
Okay. Yeah.
He's not running this turn, so he lost a little ground. But I mean, rolling a d6
Full
versus getting a
movement and-
flat +2 versus rolling a d6 isn't a whole lot different anyway. So
Okay.
he slowed down a bit to cast.
All right. Jantos, you do not see him get up and start running away,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't seem to be responding either, Barnes. He does jump off the pike, and how it was positioned sideways before, he like takes cover behind it, and he doesn't really peek or anything. He just stays right there holding his cover.
through comms. He's, I'll keep aim on him if you want to approach.
I take it he doesn't want to be neighborly.
All right. Is he doing anything else that we see?
You guys can give me a notice roll to try to see. -4 for Vasio and Barnes. -2 for Jantos.
What just?
Affected by boost training.
What? I didn't boost notice. 1 second, let me roll something else. It's boosting fucking all my traits. That's why is it boosting all my traits?
Boosted.
Oh, that's the dead drag. And to take them off the combat tracker, huh?
Sin, if you could click on me and change the word trait to shooting, possibly.
Ooh,
Or just
how I do that?
In the combat tracker, if you click on him, you should be able to expand it, and you should see the effects.
boost trait. Yeah,
one of the buttons up at the top will show you the effects.
Okay.
If
Just
you can
change
change
trait
the,
to shooting.
yeah, the trait that's inside the brackets. If you change it to shooting with a capital S, it'll affect my shooting die only instead of all of my traits. Unfortunately, I cannot change it myself.
That do it?
Yep. Now I'll just do 2
I don't know
rolls
how
to
to
test. Okay, so
minimize
my light
this
is
thing.
working. My light is working without the wait, no, that's my light. That's my notice. Okay, so my notice is working without the boost, and then I'll test shooting. And shooting does have the boost. Yeah, we're good. Well, that's a waste of a good shooting roll.
Oh my god.
Spend a Benny so you can use that roll later.
How do I get rid of
So Jonto sees what he's doing. What's he doing? Jonto got a 5.
this? Okay. Jantos, you see from your angle looking over, you're able to see him with his back against his vehicle and holding in front, like on his lap in front of him, you see him messing with this silver disc like object.
And how much of a shot do I have on this guy right now?
He has half cover on you.
So
So you're saying he could interrupt.
right.
Ken?
Oh, hey, the drag's back on the track.
And if you
I
look in the
forgot to
top,
get rid of the dead one.
if you look at the top right hand corner, you can see the little plus minus sign. Is that the one you want?
Yeah. Edit list.
That one doesn't have cover on it. One of them there has the effects. Duh. Go to the effects button, and you should see that they have cover. So they have light, medium, and heavy cover, and you can just drag that right onto the dragon. It'll give them the bonuses and shit, and us the penalties.
If I can find effects. There it is.
And can you make it my turn so that I can target?
So after the direct turn, it was Barnes. Are you doing anything?
Well, he's interrupting
Yeah.
from his
okay,
previous
okay.
turn.
Let me see if I can find this cover. There it is.
So you can either
Okay,
manually.
There's no half. There's near total, medium, light. Okay.
Yeah, so half
So-
I believe is medium.
Yeah.
So you can either just manually target them or do that.
Boom.
So,
So if I roll it straight, it should automatically.
It'll
It'll do the
automatically do all the
cover.
penalties. Yep.
and from your distance, you're still at the -2 that you were from before.
Okay, so I'll put on the extra -2. Yeah, we'll try and take a shot here.
Mm.
Did that calculate right? Because I only did the -2. Or is it because it says specifically attack -4 and not ranged?
No.
matter?
It should do all attacks.
I think if
the
you have them
attack is-
targeted, it'll actually say if it's a hit or miss.
Yeah, it's got a target for cover. Since cover's on the target, that'll only apply if you're targeting the person who had cover.
Yeah, you're. Are you targeting the right one, or are you targeting the one that Sin removed from the map?
Nope. Targeting the one that he just put on there.
And you gave that one cover?
Yep.
So like I can unselect him, select him again.
I see you targeting him.
Yep.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
seeing it too.
I think it applies to the attack itself. So like his shooting will be 3, but the attack will be -1.
Okay.
But it didn't give the usual miss message it gives when you shoot someone who you're targeting. So
Right. Either way, it's a miss.
Are you Bennying that, or are you
Like-
just?
I would
getting
say,
a -6.
yeah. I'm just gonna let it lie and to see if he gets startled by the shot.
And now Barnes, you would be up.
Okay. Is Jonto saying anything, or are you just shooting?
He right before he shoots says he's got something in his hand and then takes the shot.
Okay. From this distance, what would the penalty look like for me to throw a grenade?
So for you, I'm gonna say you're within the a little bit closer than 100 feet now.
So what's that penalty
So-
look like there, GM?
100 feet.
What's the range thing? 30, 60, shit like that.
That's in yards. So,
So
3 feet
100
about.
yards. Give me a second. I need to pull stuff that I don't remember where it's at.
Well, it should say the range. If you're talking about your weapon, it should say the range on your weapon, Cliff.
No, grenade.
Oh, grenade. Grenade is smarts ×2.
So my smarts is 8.
So
would-
16 combat inches would be 32 yards. So the range of your grenade is 32 yards.
So just under 100 feet. That'd be like 96 feet.
If we're going by the range in game, which would be yards, then instead of 100 feet, it's 100 yards.
Oh, they're 100 yards away? Okay, they're
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
300
really
feet away.
fucking far away. So we're 300 feet
Yeah.
away. Okay. Well, if I don't think I could chuck it that far, I'm not going to do it. So, I am just going to run. That's it. Boring shit.
I would say that you were at 90, then 80, and Vasio, you're at 80, and whatever you move forward would be where you were at.
Okay, so I moved toward 8, so I'm at 72 then.
So now it would be Jonto's actual turn for this round because that was an interruption from last round, right?
No, because to interrupt, don't you have to go on hold, which holds over into the next round?
You hold over a round.
Oh, okay. Okay. It
So
would be
he
the
is
it would have been the
up next
Dreg's
round.
turn.
No, I used the dead Dreg's order from where he was.
Oh, okay.
Jontos.
All right. What's this Drake still doing? Is he still fucking around with that little disc, or?
For now, that's what you see until his turn.
Should I try and stop him, sir?
Keep an aim just above the vehicle. And if he tries to use some sort of weapon on us, take him out.
All right. Going on hold. Waiting to interrupt if, he make me shoot him.
So if you right click on Jantos now, you can actually do hold in the combat tracker, and you can actually put him on hold for realsies.
On hold.
All right, and then
Okay.
And,
Cliff,
and-
because I forgot to mention last round, if you want to move faster than 10 to get closer, you can do a light to increase that.
so are you like giving me the option to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I will not.
Right.
I'm still coming down off my high from what I just did jumping across that. Like, I don't really know how to tap into this shit yet.
All right, Vasio.
All right, 1 second.
I'm running and trying to activate it. I'm like, well, shit. I guess I must have used too much back there. Gonna have to-
If we're only 100 yards, if Cliff was 90 yards away, he would be 70, not 80, because every pace is 2 yards. Because pace is in combat inches, which is 2 yards. So Cliff would be at 70 and I'd be at 64.
Okay.
That being said, can I also try to dive into my light to go faster last
Yes.
round? Okay. How much fucking faster am I going?
Just like the light doubles. No, I'm saying that wrong. You would move your normal movement plus half.
Plus half my normal movement. Okay.
half the normal movement or half what he rolls if he rolls run.
If you're running, then it would be half of that.
Okay, so that's half of your total movement for the turn.
Yeah, you're moving at 1.5 speed of your normal of that turn.
Okay, so of whatever you get move that turn. Okay, so that's for me with my pace 8. That's an additional 4. So I would be at 56. All right.
But if you run, you can exponentially increase that.
Yes. I'm just trying to get in gun range, which is 48 yards is that, which actually that's this turn. If I don't even have to run, so I don't have to take negatives. I can just move and then start shooting. All right, I'm gonna move up and start shooting at him. He's got cover though, right?
Yes.
Is it still considered half cover from our angle?
For your angle, it would probably be full cover.
How tall is the thing?
The vehicle that he's riding on, is about 4 feet.
And he's like, how is he taking cover?
Like sitting on the ground with his back against it.
Okay. So if I was like above him, he would have 0 cover?
If you're above him, he would probably have light cover.
Well, I think that's still better than full. Because -2 for the double action to -2 for the double action and -2 for light cover is better than -6 for full cover. So, yeah, Vasio is gonna jump up, and he's gonna attempt to do the floating double jump and shoot down at him.
Okay.
What's your
like-
airborne effectiveness stat?
That's not an effect yet.
Right, that was until Destiny 2.
Right.
Hell yeah.
All right, there's my double jump as I jump up in the air, and since I'm
Just roll your attack with a +2. Because it's already at a -4 on the combat tracker.
oh, okay, so just roll it +2 so that
Yeah.
I'm at -2 instead of okay. Okay. Where the fuck is my combat? Okay, I gotta target him,
Hell yeah.
and then I let off a burst of fire.
Oh my god.
Any of those hit. I think they all missed.
They all missed.
Now, if I... Does Benny the whole attack on a rate of fire attack? I think it does.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm Bennying
It
that whole
does.
fucking attack.
Damn.
All misses.
Damn, still all misses. And that... Wait, 1 second. Nah, my adventure card wouldn't help. All right, yeah. So I do the successful jump up.
It
Hover.
looks cool though.
Yeah, it does.
Can I still be in the air at the beginning of next round and shoot him from up there one more time before I drop with my 8 on my double jump?
Yeah, I'll have you roll
Okay.
a light at the beginning of your next turn to see how well you maintain it.
Okay,
You might have floated down a little bit and took him down to medium.
-4 instead of -2. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Barnes,
Mhm.
42.
I ain't got shit to do. I'm gonna see. Vasio jumping up and doing that. I'm gonna look at the angle he's got on him. Know that from my far left, Jonto has an angle on him from that side. So I'm going to maneuver my way to the right. So I'm going to be approaching from the right side, because that's the only angle that we don't really have covered yet. But all I can do is run. So I'm going to try to do a light infused run. Still can't tap into that light. So 8. So I'm still not close enough to be able to fire yet.
Well, 8 pace is 16 yards, so that puts you at 54 yards away.
He has a shotgun.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Or if he
I have a
wants to-
bazooka.
I know. Wait for you to pull it out.
What's the range on that bazooka?
He's well in range.
I think the bazooka has like 100 on the bottom end.
Damn near.
Yeah, you're
96.
96.
You're-
Okay.
You're 54 yards away, which means you're only 27 pace away.
Yeah. So I'm just barely outside of the minimal range for it. But I don't want to blow up these vehicles. I want the vehicle. So
How
Yeah.
itchy is your trigger finger?
I feel like the reason you told Vasio to light up the sky was so that he wouldn't have a grenade left for this combat.
Well, the whole thing is like I'm very trigger disciplined. That's the one thing about my character I will say is I'm very trigger disciplined. So the goal is we need a vehicle. These guys have vehicles. That's why I'm not trying to have Vasio blow it up. I'm not trying to have, when Jonto's saying it's some metal disc Like, I don't want him to shoot it and be some explosive and to blow everything up. So, aim at the dude. Aim at the guy. But yeah, so I'm just maneuvering within, so.
Alright, that's your turn then?
That's my turn, unfortunately.
Alright.
Is light infused running just like free as long as we make the roll, or is that an extra action, or?
It's free.
Okay.
It's just considered a athletics, but it's a little extra from your guys' light.
Okay. All right, so it's free. Got it. That's what I need to know. 'Cause I might. Now that I've realized he's decently behind cover, I might just bull rush him.
Oh, 1 second.
You can do that Icarus dash while I'm midair.
I mean, if I just jump on his bike and then fishtail right over him.
I'm all for whatever. I don't
give a fuck.
Barnes doesn't have the flair that you guys have. He's very direct and to the point. You guys got this flair and shit going on. He doesn't understand it all yet.
Vasio took his lessons from Mama. Fuck, what's her name?
Ikora Ray.
No, I was thinking of the Queen Latisha from Chicago. He's got to use that body language.
Those of you that have a higher angle on this drag, you would see him with that metal disc toss it to the side next to where his fallen companion is, and he reaches onto the vehicle that he's driving, and he's feeling around in one of the bags and pulls out another one of those flares.
Alright, I'm gonna interrupt.
How do I do the request interrupt thing?
Right click on Jontos and then it should say
Off hold?
I thought there was an actual interrupt you could do. But it might just be off hold. Oh, there it goes.
Request interrupt. Alright, would that be like
Same thing, so it's two agility rolls, yep. And I think that I think during an interrupt, Jontos would roll first, and then
in the interrupt specifically, it doesn't matter since interrupt specifically says ties. You go at the same time, and GM narrates what happens.
Okay. So him grabbing the gun means he doesn't have an action left to shoot at this one? He's just grabbing it, or does he have the action to shoot it?
He has the action to shoot.
Okay.
Since equipping a weapon is a free action.
Though
a weapon on your person.
Is it a weapon on your person?
I mean, you can't go find a weapon somewhere and then use it. Like that's an action. I would think that's an action. If it's on your person and you're just pulling it out of the holster or something, that's a free action.
it's if I remember correctly, readying weapons. It's characters may ready up to 2 items per turn as a free action. Readying means drawing, holstering, or otherwise moving an item into or out of a familiar, easy to reach location.
Okay, so I guess it's your call on if where it is on the pike is a familiar and easy to access location. Which I assume it is.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. You get a Betty?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and squash that.
I mean, if he had to reach in and rustle around, is that really familiar? Also, just a note for future turns. Interrupting is not an agility roll; it's an athletics roll. That being said, most people, their agility and athletics are the same thing because pretty much everyone maxes athletics.
An athletics roll?
Why would that be athletics?
Since when? Am I thinking of the old
forever.
fucking rules again?
It's since forever. It's on page 102. I looked it up before I brought it up because I'm like, isn't that athletics? And then I looked it up. attribute rolls are almost exclusively used as defenses. You don't see them as actual rolls very often. That being said, I don't think I've ever had a character who had an athletics below their agility. Well, unless I do like a D12
4
agility.
in my athletics. I got an 8 in my agility.
Oh,
Level 2. Jantos, what you doing?
I'ma shoot him. -2 still.
Yes.
Okay. See if I can hit him. What? Oh, it's
you
ammunition. There. Now I suddenly found some bullets on the ground.
I was gonna say, wasn't ammunition not a thing here?
Oh,
It's not a thing, but reloading still is.
Ah. Well, I better check my ammo in my gun then. 'Cause I think binnying it might have made my ammo go down twice. Nope, it only went down once. I can do 3 of those rate of fire 3 shots before.
So, that being said, would that be a multi-action or reload then shoot? How does that work?
Most of the time, yes, it would be.
I mean, I missed either way because there's cover.
Oh, that's what I did wrong. I can't move and do that. Fuck. Okay.
So I would say he's pulling the weapon since I don't know it's a flare gun.
Okay. All right, then I'll be like,
Fasio, take him out if you get the chance.
And now it's the Greg's turn.
Well, the continuation of his turn.
Hold on. Let's see how this turns out.
Shoots himself in the eye.
Not a crit fail.
hit the safety on. Why does a flare gun got safety? I don't know. Why not?
I think they do actually.
I'm sure they do. I mean, they're fucking.
Oh. Also, they don't usually come loaded. You usually gotta load them right before you use them.
Everyone rushing it in on this Greg. You see a hand go up. Nothing happened. The hand twist a little bit, then come down again.
Y'all see that? Oh,
Barnes
Ooh,
with
Barnes.
the Joker.
Okay. How far away am I?
I think you were.
I had it in my notes. You were 54 pace. You were 54 yards, so you're 27 pace away.
Pa. Fuck, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
What's the range on your shotgun?
I mean, I could do it at 20 at the furthest range. So, I mean, I could run within range and get there potentially, but I'd be firing with a massive penalty.
Full cover and.
I mean, if
Shotgun
you roll a 6 on your pace and manage to get the light to work, that'd be a 18 movement. So that'd put you down to like 9 away. So I mean, but running would put you at -2, but you're at +2 for your Joker. So if you did a light enhanced run, you might get in range.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna run no matter what. So we'll see. So we're gonna do the run first. Well, no, we're gonna do light first. Do I have to roll light with -2 for multi-action? Because technically, when you're running and doing an action, it's not a multi-action, but you do get a -2 penalty on the action.
Yeah.
But the light itself is being on the run, not on the action.
One sec, let me check something real quick. Where's run? Because I don't think you'll take the negative.
I don't think run has any.
I know
during multi actions.
Well, like I said,
I know
Go ahead.
multi-action actually would not apply to the light the way Sen's running it. I don't know if running would, because multi-action specifically says multi-action penalties do not apply to free actions.
Okay.
So
Okay.
since the light is a free
no
action,
penalty.
multi-action doesn't apply. I don't know about running. I'm having trouble finding that, but
Hey, look at that. The Joker bonus. All right.
and there's that 6. That's,
Hey.
that's 18. That's 18.
All right. So 18 puts me within 9, which
Yeah, 'cause
means
18 is you were at 27, so 18. Yeah, you're
so
you're
at
nine
9,
pace away.
Zoomed.
that's still in the -2 range for my weapon, though. Unfortunately.
And so -2 from running, -2 from distance, and then +2 from Joker. It's only a -2 total. Wait, what type of ammo are you rocking in that thing?
It's just regular. It's regular, like buck. I don't have slugs. I didn't specify that there are slugs in it.
It's a chaperone.
Right.
Exactly. All right. So okay.
So shotguns work really weird. You get +2 on your shooting rolls when using shot, but it does less damage at higher ranges.
Yeah, -2 to the
shot-
damage piece. I think it is.
No, it's 3d6 at short, 2d6 at medium, 1d6 at long. So using shot, you've got a +2 to your attack. So you've got +2 from your Joker, +2 from the fact you're using shot, -2, -2. So you're rolling flat if you shoot him right now, but you're only gonna do 2d6, not 3d6.
I'll leave him shaking.
And you
Yeah.
get your +2 from your Joker bonus on damage.
And I have double tap.
Oh, and it's a double barrel, right?
Yeah.
So you can do the fire both barrels for a +4 on damage.
Okay. So we gonna try this. So how am I gonna roll this? So he's already at -4. I already get the +2, so I just gotta roll it with a +2, which is gonna come out flat. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you should be rolling flat if you're dead. Unless does he still have cover
Yeah.
from Cliff?
Mhm.
Because I didn't factor cover into my rolling flat. Cliff ran to the right and he's 9
Yeah,
pace
Cliff
away.
ran to the right.
Yeah, unless he's got an angle.
I mean, I'm still 9 yards away too. So I mean, he's still got cover.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not rolling flat. Sorry, I forgot about cover.
So -4. I'm gonna get -2 from the run.
And +2 from the Joker, so you're already good.
So I'm rolling that at a -2. It's gonna already factor in the -2. It's gonna roll that piece flat. Then the -4 is its own thing.
Yeah, so you shouldn't have to add any bonuses or negatives because
I still have to add the
negative-
-2 for the run.
If you
Doesn't
click on
that-
the actual run,
you clicked on the run, it
it'll do
gives you the
automatically.
-2. Yeah, it's gonna do the run automatically for you.
I didn't click the button last time, so ignore that piece. All right, so then fuck it. So I'm just gonna roll in to in.
Okay. Okay.
Hit with a raise. All right.
Bonus you're running, your trade. Oh, I forgot about your trademark.
How
So yeah, you hit with a raise even with the negative.
So I gotta do.
I don't think it's gonna factor in the range.
That's the range we were already. It doesn't factor in the -2 for range, but it also doesn't factor in the +2 for his using shot. So that
Well, no,
for his,
so-
for the damage,
oh,
I don't think it'll do automatically. I don't know if you have different.
yeah, I
things
mean
to
his
click on
damage
for
should
it.
be 2d6 plus the raise damage.
So 3d6 plus 4. 'Cause I get
3d6 plus 6. I mean, well.
Oh
sorry,
yeah, can I get the plus
Joker.
2 to the Joker
Yeah,
too?
The Joker will factor in automatically though. But
Yeah.
it's going to be 3d6 plus 6 total.
Well, I'm not going to roll it as an attack because... Oh, I should just roll it as an... No, because it's going to factor in the thing all wrong. I'm going to roll it manually. So 3d6
Right.
plus 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's-
Oh
wow,
my
that was
God.
so booty. So we're going to go ahead and Benny that. And we're going to do 3d6 plus 6. Wow, that's still booty.
That's still 14. That's probably going to take him.
Oh, it's not doing the plus 6 on it. Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
still-
that was adding it into it.
Yeah, so that's still 14. So that's still going to give a wound to an extra. So
Yeah. Okay, so we'll stick with the 14. So then I'm going to do...
heck, that's still 2 wounds to an extra. So even if he's in a resilient extra, that should take him down.
Hold on. Let me just do... Can I do it this way? That, and then do that to this. There we go.
Huh? Okay.
If you type in like where you can do your plus minus modifiers, if you just type a number in there and drag it into chat, you can then drag that number from chat to the attack window in the combat tracker and it'll apply it as damage. It's kind of a cheeky way of doing it so you can have it still calculate. So with a 14, that's 2 wounds on this drag. So as soon as Vasio jumps in the air and starts shooting, and I see him pull this thing out and then kind of look it down, I'm flanking to the right a little bit, and you guys see like I just kind of barrel forward, like lean my full body into it and start running, and you see sparks start coming out of my feet. And I'm gonna come to a slide, and I'm basically just gonna whip the shotgun. And in the same motion of whipping it, I just pull the trigger. There's like no aim to it at all. It's just like an instinct shot. What's the 14 do for the drag?
He's dead as fuck. So he the drag messing with the flare stands up and is about to shoot it, then he turns and looks at you and full on pain angels onto the ground. A lot more graphic than Call of Duty though.
After I see him hit the ground, I'm gonna just say out to Jantos.
All right, Jantos, I think it's safe for you to make it over here.
On the way,
He's
sir.
about to be the one person that fails his light jump.
Guardian down.
It's like, I need a revive. What?
What? Guardian down. Oh shit.
All right, he shoulders his sniper and takes a couple steps back, starts running, and he jumps triumphantly, successfully,
Using the light.
using the light first. Huh. But maybe he don't need that. Wait, why do I have the light on here twice? What the fuck? I think one of these I added wrong or something. I don't know. Let's get rid of that. Boom. Okay. And what is it? Athletics?
Yeah.
Hey.
Good enough. As far as I know, the light helped me.
Do the double jump. He didn't do. He made it, but he didn't do the double jump. You can do that.
Alright.
And as he's coming over, so I'm gonna tell him that as soon as he gives the audio cue that he is on his way. The first thing I want to do is from a distance, like kind of survey the area to try to see, do I notice the metal disc, and if so, can I identify what it is? So you let me know what I need for that, but notice I'm assuming I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, and I was gonna give you a +2 because you were told where it was and shit.
So
So
that
that's
that would be an
you.
8.
Yeah, you see it clearly, like pressed against the side of the first one that was shot down on the other side of the first pike
Okay, and with an
vehicle.
8, can I tell what it is?
You would think it's some kind of like mine, claymore or trip mine type thing.
I'm gonna log out of Fantasy Grounds for a second. I'm trying to figure something out
Okay.
now that the combat's over. If I need to make a roll, I'll have Sen roll it for me.
Okay.
He's got my character sheet.
So when I see that, I'll just call out to everybody like,
Looks like there's some sort of explosive here. Is anybody good with bombs?
and I'll look at Vasio to see if he gives me any sort of indicator.
Vasio points at the bike and then points all the way over there, and then he holds up his gun and points it toward where the explosive's at.
No, that's not an option. Jantos, do you know how to disarm a bomb or anything like that?
Actually, what skill would be disarm bomb? Would that be thievery? Could I use
I
thievery?
can-
That's like disable traps, right?
I can hear an argument for thievery, electronics.
Thievering does say disable traps and similar. Yeah, thievery says disable traps, and I've got a D6 thievery. So yeah, actually, Vasio does. He's like, he shrugs and then puts away his weapon. And then he like holds his fingers up and wiggles them.
So I'm gonna look. I'm looking at. You said it's like right next to the other pike.
It's like 3 feet from it.
Vasius just starts walking toward it.
Hold on. We need these vehicles. Let's try to get them to safety before we go tampering with this.
And then I'm gonna look at this. Have I ever seen anything like this before?
The enemy, the vehicle, or the
The
bomb?
vehicle, the pike itself.
No.
All right. So I'm gonna kind of beckon Vasio over as he's walking towards the bomb and say,
Yeah. You said that you were a pilot, right?
Nods.
Take a look to see if this is something you know how to fly or drive.
Right. Well, Vasio does have, I believe, a D4 drive and a D6 piloting, depending on which one of those applies. He's actually better at flying than he is at driving.
Ah, it's boating. Nah, it's driving.
"Fucking knew it."
It would be a drive roll.
And you can use drive for knowledge, so he could roll to see if he feels confident in driving it before just hopping on it and going gung-ho. Although, due to his impulsive tendencies, I'm not sure that's the route he would go.
Yeah, he's not actually jumping on it and going gung ho, because right now he's thinking more about disabling the bomb.
And for the record, I'm talking about the one that's away from the bomb, not the one that's right next to the bomb, is the first one that we're going to move. That's why I said I kind of like motion him over as he's walking towards the explosive, like,
Okay.
like redirect over
So
here
he's-
first.
Vasio's
the,
gonna try to. So Vasio's gonna try to turn it on without
Just so
getting
you
on it.
guys know the whole picture. The first one, the Dreg was still sitting on it when he got shot off, so that one is kind of like tipped over with the body underneath it. Then the mine right there, and the second one is only like 15 feet away to the left of it. So it's not a huge gap. It's just
Right. Yeah, so that's the one that I'm saying we need to move that first, because that one we have the best chance of getting it away from whatever explosion this thing may have. So that's why I kind of beckoned him towards that one first.
Okay.
All right, and I am actually back in Fantasy Ground now, so.
I see.
So roll that drive roll.
Roll drive to turn it
Beautiful,
on.
silent bastard. Ooh.
What the hell? What the hell was that?
My void dice.
Oh my god.
I've been trying to get those to work all night.
You can't be rolling a pretty ass
You
die
had
and
to
failing
do-
your roll.
You had to do another roll that failed.
Yeah, he presses a button and it doesn't turn on, and he's like, Then he snaps and he walks around to the other side of the bike. And then he tries again.
It's left-handed.
Even other pretty dice didn't work. He's like, all right, so he stands back and he kind of takes a deep breath despite not needing to breathe.
I get it.
And the air kind of darkens around him as he casts Boost Trait on his driving.
Which he does.
And then he rolls a d6 drive. Which I'm not going to bother to apply the Boost Trait. I'm just going to increase my drive for this one roll. What the hell?
My god.
I think these pretty die are distracting you from actually doing well.
Right. It looks
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Are those the magical die?
Those were the magical trails. I bought the dice pack that had all of the dice, so I've got all the special dice. So I can make super mini magical. But yeah, yeah, he's just.
We're just
It's like-
watching him fumble around with it for a second. I'm like,
Can we, like, move it? Just pull it to the side a little bit here.
Yeah, he tries to push it without turning it on.
I'm assuming we're gonna have to roll athletics for this.
Yeah, like it's like no wheels or anything.
I only have a 4 in athletics. Anybody have higher than a 4?
I do.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and I already said Vasio is just giving up and trying to push it. So
Okay, so we're gonna assist you then. So I'm gonna motion Jonto over to come help, and we can assist or hinder, one of the two. Okay, you get no. We're there.
Yeah.
which makes
watched
sense
it.
because Vasio was already pushing before you came over because he's already.
Hey, there you go.
We helped.
We did it
Mhm.
Vasio's-
collectively. Just go look down.
Good job, team.
Fire
Alright.
team effort.
Let's figure out this other one.
And then- Vasio's just gonna walk over to the other one and turn it on, or try. It's a different bike, and he's convinced that one was broken. We must.
Hold on. If you're walking over there real quick, I'm gonna like yell
Yell
out.
out, hey! Watch out for that thing. If you get close to
Oh, yeah.
it might blow up.
Yeah, he's walking around, and he's keeping an eye on the bomb, and he's gonna run forward and try to disable it if it looks like it's going off. But he's just walking around the bomb to like the opposite side of the bike to try to turn the bike on.
So you go in and try to lift the bike and turn it on.
Yeah, this one I'm gonna try to turn on. Yeah.
This one is like laying on top of the drag.
Like laying on top of the drag that's touching the mine.
Oh, that's touching the. It's touching the bomb.
Well, the drag is touching the mine, and the vehicle is on top of the drag.
I see. Didn't quite get that. In that case, he walks over and he like looks at the bike and the drag and the bomb, and then he looks over at Barnes, points at the bomb, and wiggles his fingers.
you think you can do it, give it a go.
Alright. For this, he is going to first attempt to boost his thievery, because he don't get second tries at defusing bombs.
I'm gonna very, very sneakily, super sneakily, I am going to walk to the other side of the pike, so I have just a little bit of cover between me and that bomb if it goes off. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna walk. Sin, grab a card from the little card deck at the bottom and drag it over my Joker and replace my Joker.
There's my thievery to disable it with the boosted thievery.
Boosted up to a 10, Jesus.
Well, it was a 6 before, and I got a 10 on my boost trait, so that's 2 die
2
sizes.
points, yeah.
So he
Hard deck.
So at the very bottom, you should see a deck of cards. You might have to actually show that option if you don't have it. Under options,
Desktop adventure deck.
not the adventure deck.
Card deck.
Yeah, that one. And then you should be able to click on the little button that shows our cards, and then that'll work too. I think I can just grab it and do it myself. I lied. I cannot grab it and do it myself. So you'll have to drag that over to my card. That way it just stops rolling the
There it goes.
there you go. Yeah, I just don't want to keep rolling the Joker even though
+2.
it's not. Yeah, there you go. So mine was a 5. Either way, it's a quote unquote successful stealth, as long as no one's actively looking. But I don't think I'm gonna need it because Homeboy got a 6 on his disarm roll.
No, yours wasn't a 5, Cliff. It was a 7.
Well, that was with the Joker bonus. Oh, there's a running
was also with
penalty.
running.
Okay, yeah. So it is a 7. Cool. Let
But
me turn the run
yeah,
off, too.
so Vasio pulls the void into his hands, and it seems to add some dexterity to them as he starts fiddling with the bomb.
Gonna lean over to John like,
He's really getting the hang of this light thing.
Well, I certainly hope so, sir.
Yeah, and as you diffuse it, the center of it kind of opens up in like a spiral type of action, and there's like a orb sitting in there, which you would know is the actual explosive device.
Okay.
But as far as you know, it's taken care of.
I'm gonna hear the click of it like opening up. Grab onto the
Is the
pipe.
explosive like now that it's defused, is the explosive safe to move the inner explosive, or is it the type where jarring it could make it explode?
You know it's safe to move. It would need some kind of force to set
So
it
it
off.
needs like an actual charge to set it off, not just like being jostled.
What about like a guardian throwing it?
Yeah, like if you threw it, would it explode?
If it threw it and like once it hit something, probably.
What if you dropped it from like 4 feet in the air?
Maybe.
Maybe isn't a yes. So he plucks out the little explosive and kind of lightly tosses it in the air and catches it successfully.
Oh my god.
He just plucks it out and kind of casually tosses it in the air and catches it, and then holds it between his 2 fingers, smiling at Barnes, nodding.
We're trying to not blow the vehicles up. Please don't do that.
He points at it and points to the explosive and thumbs up.
Gonna shaking my head, walk over to the other pike and try to see if I can lift it up off of the dreg. Hey, fuck yeah. And then I'm gonna kind of look over at Vasio, just kind of like most Vanna White to him. Go ahead and give it a try.
He walks up, still holding the explosive in one hand, trying to figure out where to put it. With his other hand, he kind of reaches out and presses a few buttons,
I'm just gonna hold my hand out. Give me the explosive.
and the car starts. He kind of holds the explosive away, like mine.
I'm just there thinking, like, great, this idiot thinks this is a good luck charm. If the ghost can hear my thoughts, it heard that.
He pulls the canister from his belt. After starting the car and just kind of leaving you with the started car, he pulls the canister from his belt, pulls it open, and it's like this little disc with like a metal. There's like a metal rod going into the canister, and he kind of puts the explosive in there and then closes it and puts it on his belt.
I don't wanna. Yeah, I noticed him doing it. So I'm gonna look at him and say, okay, so
How do you drive it?
I assume with my successful drive, I know how to like drive it at least now that I figure out how to turn it on.
Yeah, you know, like
So
it's built like a motorcycle type vehicle, but instead of with like handlebars, it has like these sockets that you can stick your hands in, but it's
still that
real
general.
awkward because it's like looks like it's made for like someone with 3 fingers instead of all 5.
Okay, but it's still the general twist motion to.
After messing around with it a little, you hear like what would be revving up, and you turn it a certain way, and you see it jolt forward, jolt backwards.
Yeah, so I do that, and then I look over to him and I point to the mechanism, and I just twist it a little bit as it jolts forward, and twist it a little the other way, and it jolts back, and I'm like, and then I'm about to walk away, and I think, and I point to it, and kind of lean over and look at him, and just kind of turn the handles right and back.
So, with this demonstration, can I use that as a +1 to attempt my unskilled roll at driving the other one?
Am I the only one with driving or piloting in this?
Yep.
You can Vasio. Give me what would it be? I guess you already rolled your driving, so
Yeah, that's why I was saying +1, because I got a single success on my driving.
yeah, sure, I'll give you +1.
Awesome. Let's do this. Awesome. Let's do this.
Hey.
All right.
All right, now we got 2 people that can drive these right now.
And I guess I should have asked this before doing it, but do these things look big enough that like 2 people could fit on them?
2 people can fit on them very uncomfortably.
Very uncomfortably.
They're not too big.
Then
It looks
I'm
like
gonna-
if someone's riding from the back, they're going to be holding on for dear life.
So what you're saying is that Barnes should have his own.
yeah, so that's what I was just gonna say. Like,
Given that friggin' rocket launcher on your back, I don't think anyone's riding behind you.
Jonto, you might want to ride with Vasio, as I'm not entirely confident in my abilities to control this thing, and I'd rather crash and take me out than crash and take us both out. But I guess
Yes,
I could
sir.
crash and take all 3 of us out. Anyway, I digress. It'd be probably better to ride with him.
He's already hopping on the back.
All right. So I'm gonna kind of take a quick survey of where we are, and pull out the map real quick and realize that we're on that freeway that runs alongside where we need to go to.
So looking at the map, then like you look at the map, you like look off around in the distance, and you notice that you're pretty much right above the building that you walked out of when you were revived.
How did we manage that?
So do you have the
Yeah, I have it up.
so you guys jumped onto the freeway about here
Mm-hmm.
and made your way along it this way,
Oh, okay, so
and this is
I was under the impression that we were heading still in the same direction as the fallen camp.
oh no, when I said you guys were running alongside and there was a gap in between the buildings,
Uh-huh.
that would have been this street right here.
Right, but I assumed we were going south, not north, when we were chasing after them.
No, because Sen said the vehicles were heading away from the camp.
Okay, that's my misunderstanding then. Well, either way, so I mean, I can,
So they still wanted the vehicles.
yeah, I just sort of look at it and sigh and be like, all right.
Looks like this is pretty much a straight shot down the freeway until we get to a cross section where there's another freeway either above or below us. At that point, we'll be right on top of their camp.
All right. Before we take off, Vasio is going to hold a finger up in the air and then point down at the explosive that he disabled and point to the saddlebags that the fallen pulled the explosive out of, and then kind of tap his chin and start digging through his saddlebag.
You looking to see if there's any more explosives in there?
Yeah, like I want to know if there is any explosives, and I thought I would bring attention to
Yeah,
that
it's a-
idea to your character since you're on a separate bike.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just, I'd rather know if there's explosives in the vehicle I'm piloting.
Yeah. So with that note, I'm gonna scour over this fucking thing as best as I can. With a 10, do I find anything of notice on this pike?
On yours,
Mhm.
on the right side, you do notice two of those metal
I'll just look at
discs.
the arc dice turned on.
Okay.
You check on the opposite side on the left, matching saddlebag would be another two.
Okay.
And some more of the pouches. You find this what probably is food for these things. Then
I'm gonna smell it.
smells like some kind of plant, but it's red.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it back in the bag.
And searching
gonna-
around some more, underneath one of the saddlebags, you notice this like this barrel that's kind of tucked in to the vehicle. It's part of the vehicle, but it looks, if you inspect it a little bit, you would assume it's some kind of barrel to a weapon.
Okay. I'm gonna take note of it, but I'm not gonna fuck with it too much.
I'm gonna Benny my notice, by the way. Man, Man, none of the fancy dice work for me.
I'll say you.
I don't like them at
You're
all.
better off with that basic shit.
I paid $26 for having every single die in the game. I'm rolling them. I'm gonna find one that works eventually.
Glacio was killing it with the rolls until these fancy dice came out.
Well, actually, the one that worked was the metal dice. When I rolled the golden metal dice, those worked well. Maybe I'll stick to that.
So what's Vasio noticed with his 2?
3 technically, because I keep the better of the 2 rolls, but still. Hey, I mean, it does. You don't always need a 4 to discover stuff that's in plain sight. I'm probably not going to discover the underbarrel, but
Pretty much the same stuff as Barnes, except for the weapons on the vehicle. But when
Okay.
you pull out some of the mines, like when you pull it out to inspect it, you hear rattling.
I very carefully put it back away and make sure it's cushioned. Wasn't looking to use the mines. He just wanted to know whether he should be careful about knocking into walls and stuff.
Where Barnes pulled out 2 from each side. He pulled out 2 on one side, one of which was rattling, and the other side is empty.
He's gonna pull back out the rattling one and toss it off the side of the highway. He's not comfortable with that in his vehicle. It's like, I don't like this one rattling.
Okay. you hear it clang like it bounced off of something and then splashed into the water below. That was so close to being a critical failure.
I was about to go fishing.
What I would like to do before we actually take off driving is I want to see if I can arm one of these and place it like right next to or kind of like sort of under one of the drag that are in the middle of the freeway.
Give me a
Can I do electronics?
yes.
Perfect. I like that answer.
So yeah, like looking over this thing and you see some of the same grooves that were on the vehicle. Like it's not meant for a normal person's hand. So you feel around the grooves for a little bit, and as you twist one of them, you feel something that like come to life, but like starts humming with electrical energy, and you would assume that it's turned on.
All right, and then like I said, I want to put that like kind of like underneath. My thought behind this is if someone finds this fallen party and they go to check them, that would hopefully obscure the mine enough that they wouldn't be able to see it. So I want to move the bike far enough away out that we're like already going in the direction that we're going in, and then arming it and then going, so that way it's not like I'm trying to just chuck it underneath them or something.
Okay. And as you see Barnes doing this, and everyone gets a closer look at these things finally. Not really the same size and missing 2 of the arms that you've seen on one of the bigger skeletons.
All I see is a bitch.
One of them has a pretty sizable hole near the chest, and the other one is just pelted with bullets all across the front of its body.
Speaking of bullets, Vasio is going to pull out his gun and reload.
Yeah, I just assume that we would do that naturally when we're out of combat.
Yeah.
All right,
What?
just making sure I stated it, just in case.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
would
having
like
my
to make
3
the
shots.
assumption that we're competent with our weapons enough to know that we're not gonna like I just shot off both shots and I like run into battle the next time like, oh fuck.
If you guys, the first things you do while being risen is grab your weaponry, I'm assuming that you know how to handle your weaponry.
That's fair.
All right.
And still no kind of visible light anywhere in the area. Even the sounds of the frogs croaking have seemed to died out at this time. And in everyone's heads, you hear your ghost talking to you. That was handled impressively.
Theo nods and pats the canister.
Even with very minimal use of the light, you achieved this far better than any of the non-light bearers could have.
Well, I have to think that whatever drew you to us, we should have been capable before you arrived. If we're defined by this new power, then we really don't have any piece of ourselves left.
And Ghost is flying around you guys and analyzing each one of you. When you do use the light, it's remarkable. You're taken to it almost in an instant.
I feel like Vasio is. Mine feels more touch and go. I don't really know what I'm doing with it yet.
I just do.
Seems like when you need to, it works.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Well, let's just hope that it works when we need it most.
And as I say that, I'm going to kind of rev the engine a little bit.
The ghost flies over to you and kind of goes right into your back.
Alright, let's go find this fallen nest.
And with that, just...
Yep. Heading out.
And then I guess while driving, I do want to keep an eye out, see if I see any other vehicles, if I notice any people on like the roof line, anything like that. But mostly my main objective is going to be looking for obstacles in front of us that we have to navigate. And once I see that cross intersection, whether it be above us or below us, wherever that other freeway is, I know that I have to go east from there. So we're already heading south. So when we get there, I got to figure out how we're gonna get to that other intersection. Hopefully, there's an on ramp to it.
All right. And just so you remember, when you were looking at the map and figuring out where you were, that the darker lines, although you know they're a freeway now, are marked as the fallen scouting routes.
Even better, might be able to get our boy Jontos his own pike.
All right.
Also, even better, they might find that present I left for him.
So, after about 20 or so minutes of driving, nothing really stands out to you for the most part. And near one of the busted buildings, it looks like it doesn't have a ceiling to it. You notice a ominous green glow.
You guys see that?
Nod.
I see it, sir.
Gonna slow down but not stop.
Ghost, any idea what that is?
Let me see. I guess for a ghost, it wouldn't be common knowledge. It would be uncommon knowledge.
Well, if it's uncommon, then that would be, you'd have to figure out what skill would actually work towards that specific knowledge
Yeah.
base.
Academics, occult, electronics, battle.
For now.
Science.
Using my meta knowledge on this, it's probably a cult he would have to roll.
Where is my there?
I guess how much prep work he's had on this.
Makes sense. It pops out over your shoulder and flies a few feet from you as you're passing this building by. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, especially in fallen territory.
Doesn't look fallen.
No. It looks like it used to be.
Well, it doesn't look fallen, and it doesn't look like a ship. I say we keep going.
I'm looking over to my other two partners here for confirmation.
Agreed. Keep going, sir.
Vasio is busy looking at his pockets, like holding one open and looking at the canister that he put the bomb in. Before kind of shaking himself and paying attention. Well, yep, drive time. Josh is just now remembering that he paid for clothes specifically so he could have clothes with a bunch of pockets, and then he forgot he had pockets.
Who the fuck is Josh? Does this map have any sort of like, is the map what you see what you get on it, or does it have like any mile marker indicators, anything like that?
It's kind of what you see, what you get. More, it looks like it used to have a lot more detail to it, but it's faded and not really as pristine as this, even.
Can I roll a survival roll to take a stab at about where we are on the map to try to like mark that as a point of interest?
Yeah.
All right, and I got the D6 in survival, so that and a 6. Why didn't you roll another one, you fuck? So a 7.
7. So you would assume right about there.
Are you marking it on the
Yes.
map? Okay. Alrighty, cool. Yeah, so I'll mark that and then just keep heading towards the Fallen Nest, because the only thing we know right now is that Fallen are bad and they have ships. And we need ships. Actually, we didn't know they were bad. I mean, we kind of took the jump on them, but
They look bad.
I mean, I gave them a chance after we killed the first one to settle it peacefully.
We are keeping it lore accurate.
Yep.
I tried to be nice about it.
All right, and continuing your guys' path. Yeah, when you right around the area that you do notice this, the freeway doesn't continuously stay an overhead. It goes down eventually, and you're back to riding over the swampy landscape. And for about the 10 minutes until you reach that intersection, you do notice not as big as the first one that you've seen fly off, but 2 or 3 smaller airships leaving this area.
Alright, good news is it looks like they have a full fleet. So with any luck, we might be able to hop in and take one before they know we're there.
Ready to move, sir.
Vasio, we're going to be relying on you to get into it and get it air ready so we can just go.
Still driving.
Can only imagine. I forgot John's character's name. Jonto's riding behind me as I try to give a thumbs up while driving. Hanging onto my back.
Chanto seems like the kind who'd be okay with it.
It's fine.
I see him just like gripping on with his legs and not even holding on with his hand, just kind of fucking ragdolling as you're driving.
You all do notice that although with this newfound agility and vigor, you are starting to get tired. So
Hashtag not
You
my
get a-
destiny.
do you plan on keep going or resting anytime soon?
So I'm getting tired, but I'm stubborn. So I'm not going to be the first one to say anything about it.
I'm good.
I'll roll to see if I'm feeling tired, but he didn't. He doesn't even think about it. He just keeps going.
We just woke up from a long ass nap. Why are we tired?
Forgot I had those dice on. Still.
Yeah, if no one brings it up, I'm not going to say anything either.
So you guys continue heading on the path for about another 10 minutes, and you see across the ways a few yards in front of you the connecting intersection of the highways, and to your left, as you're making your way towards this, you see this faint orange glow, this waving glow across some of the buildings. And as you approach this intersection, you start hearing footsteps. It sounds like running.
So, for the record, to our left should be east, which should be the
Right.
direction that we need to head in, right? Okay.
That's where you're seeing the orange glow that's flickering and waving on some of the buildings around here. And
Okay.
the same direction you're hearing the running.
Okay. So gonna slow it down and try to see if I can figure out what's going on here. If we hear the running over the sound of these engines and shit, like, is it like a lot of running or like a big running or a?
The engines aren't really like a loud like motorbike engine. Like it has a hum, and when you rev it up, it's a little more dominant. But it's
How's it sound? Do it with your mouth.
I don't even remember how they sound. Wub wub wub.
It's a dubstep vehicle.
But the sounds of splashing just sound more frantic rather than stable running.
Okay. Well, shit. I'm gonna try to like see if I can actually get sight of where the running is coming from, what is running, and if I can squeeze it in with a 6, what they're running from. And if not, my man's got me.
Wow.
I can't even hear the wub wub wub.
Look in the wrong direction.
I am solely focused on the destination. I know I'm gonna have to pilot those planes. I'm gonna have to pilot that shit, so I'm solely focused on that tunnel vision.
Vasio, watch out!
Barnes, you slow down to one of the corners, and as you peek around it, you notice it is more fallen. A large pack led by one of the 4-armed ones. He kind of towers over the rest of them. You see some things that you haven't seen before yet. 2 spears that are following by, and these weird hovering drones that look like they have a turret mounted to the bottom of them. But other than that, it's smaller ones that look like the dregs that you shot off the vehicles. Altogether, you see about 20 of them running.
Nah, there should be no problem. Just get up and start punching them then.
Right. Jantos, you have a real closer view. So you come around this corner, see these 20 that are running. You see off in the distance, down the street, looks like a jungle gym, but made of scrap and just pieces of buildings and vehicles, and it's like built into the remaining buildings that are standing here. And you see one of the ships flying to the south on fire, heading straight down, and the bottom of the ship clips the top of one of the buildings. There's a explosion, and it rains over the bottom to the south more of the city. And up in the giant nest, you see fire in certain places and panic off in the distance. But you do see at the top some ships still docked.
Okay. About how many ships?
You see one more of the real big ones, and about 4 of the small ones.
Okay. And the group that's running, are they running in our direction?
They are, yes, running in your direction as you head in their direction.
So they definitely see us.
Yeah, and you notice as you're turning this corner, you spot one of the a broken piece of the road sticking straight up, and as Vasio is staring in the direction that you guys are going, he kind of hits this piece of the road that jolted out, and it turns his vehicle 90 degrees and sends you right into the path of these fallen.
I'm a bend in the corner slow, and I see the big one. I'm like,
Oh, that one looks like he's really been eating his Wheaties. Where are you guys going? Oh, fuck.
Alright, so we go over the bend and into these fallen.
Yeah.
I would like to attempt.
Can I? Go ahead, John.
I want to jump off the back of the vehicle and then double jump to land more securely.
Okay.
So should be fine. Athletics, right?
oh my god, that motherfucker was like, what?
I need to figure out what happens on a critical light fail.
Is that how we discover the darkness classes?
Right.
So yeah, you push
Jesus
yourself off
Christ.
of this thing. As you're tumbling backwards from getting like losing the momentum and about to hit the floor, another burst of energy comes from you, and you do like a backflip and come to a sliding landing.
I would like. So we careen off the side. I would like to try to make a drive roll to regain control of the pike and like make an actual landing.
Give me a drive roll of -2. I thought that was another one.
At least it wasn't a crit fail. At least it wasn't a crit fail.
There goes the vehicle.
Fireball.
I mean, there goes some of the fallen too, though. So, I mean, we're looking at the bad sides of it. There's positive sides to it too. So hey, when we were like testing out the vehicle for what it could do, did we notice that it could shoot? Does this one have guns?
You remember that one of them has like these barrels
Uh-huh.
on either side? I don't know if you tested out how to shoot them while you were driving. But unless you told the rest of the party, I think you're the only one that knows about them.
Okay. So assuming that, so I made the assumption that it's some kind of weapon, but didn't really get into anything with it. So, using my knowledge of shooting, which I have a D12 in shooting, so I mean, I know a little bit about guns. Can I, even if it's with some sort of penalty or anything, like kind of fuck around with the panel on this until I find out how to shoot from this thing?
Give me a shooting roll to assist your electronics.
Okay.
Electronics is going to be at a -2.
So I want to preface this before I do it. I want to see what Vasio does first, because I don't want to shoot at him, because I don't know what this thing can do. But I'm just letting you know in advance that if it starts to get to the point where like they're swarming, that's what I want to do with this. So I'm not gonna roll it just yet. I want to see what Vasio's gonna do first, but Barnes is already thinking this after like I come to the slow stop at this corner and see him kind of like that's where my head is, and I'm like searching for how to do this, and I'm gonna unload as soon as the shot's clear to do so. But also, like, I want to see what's gonna happen here, because if they like run up and, you know, offer him a puppy, I don't want to shoot them.
Each of you give me a notice.
Anybody else giving the notice roll, or just me?
Oh, I thought when he said each of you, he was just talking to the two of you. Sorry. I'll do one.
Shit, if anything else, Vasio should get a notice benefit. He got front row seats. He's seen all the details.
I'll give him a +2.
Yeah, and we all got 7.
It's a fake +2. He didn't even do anything.
While you're thinking about this, Barnes, Basso, you're trying to gain control of this, and Jantos, you're getting away from the mess that is the vehicle right now.
Yeah.
You notice that the only one of these Fallens that actually has weapons drawn is the big one. Some of the smaller ones look like they're holding one of their arms, or some of them are limping.
Okay. In that case, I would not open fire unless we are accosted. But I am still trying to figure out like what it would do. So I'm looking at the panel but not pressing buttons. Kind of want to accidentally discharge it. But yeah. So I guess I'm gonna wait to see how this shit plays out. Does it look like they notice that we're not dregs? Do they have a look of surprise on their face?
I'd say the captain, after the first pike comes crashing down and turning the corner, he's the only one that's head really snaps in your direction. And getting a clear view of this shiny body attached to it, it knows you're not correct.
Okay, no, let's see what happens.
I don't know if I'd say shiny. Baki was more of a matte.
Oh, you
black.
said matte, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm gonna need that captain to give me a notice roll at a -2 due to the distraction of it fleeing from whatever it's fleeing from.
Hey, if it gets like a 30, it could notice your captain's sword that you have.
Fucking let it come and take it from me, motherfucker.
So, doesn't really pay too much attention as it sees you guys, sees Vasio at least come around the corner.
So I'm gonna say,
Either these things are blind, or there's bigger matters that they're dealing with than us.
There was a ship crashing, and there's one more big ship, and I think 4 of the smaller ones still docked. And he like
See, I was looking-
gestures in that direction.
Vasio looks between the two of them like, what the fuck are they talking about? Ship crashing? What's...
all right. Then I'm gonna say,
Jantos, do you think that we can make it to one of those ships?
Can certainly try, sir.
just looking at what is Vasio doing at this point? So I mean, like, did he crash
what's
into the group like
condition?
a bowling pin? Like what? Like what
Yeah, yeah.
happened?
What is the
So
end result of this so I know what I'm doing?
As far as you and your driving abilities, what was your last drive die to try to?
It was 0 when with the -2. It would have been a 2 without the -2.
So yeah, no real luck trying to straighten out. So in the direction that piece of stray rubble sent you, eventually after wobbling a little bit, you hit one of the buildings on the left and the front of your vehicle is kind of lodged into one of the windows. Give me a athletics. So you don't take damage, but you are thrown from it and kind of like shoulder check the building and slide forward a little bit.
All right, here's a question. The ship that we're looking at taking, is it big enough for the pikes to park inside, or are we going to have to abandon the pikes when we get to the ship? Because if we're going to have to abandon them when we get to the ship anyway, I'm not going to try to get it out of the window. I'm just going to start heading toward the ship on foot. But if we're going to, if we can pull them into the ship, I'm going to try to get it out of the window.
The bigger ship very clearly has like a dock on the bottom.
Well, here's the thought. If it's big enough to have pikes in it, it probably already has pikes in it.
The smaller ones, you can't really tell from this.
Yeah, the smaller ones, it probably won't fit. The bigger one, if it's big enough to have pikes in it, it probably has pikes in it. Vasio's just going to start grabbing the explosives and piling them all into one of the saddlebags, and then taking that saddlebag with him, as he's going to try to just kind of nonchalantly make his way to the ship. They seem distracted.
About the time you're doing that is when the group and the captain would be parallel with you, running the opposite direction.
Just keeping hunched down inside the bags, like looking through the bags, hunched down with my back to them. It's like just getting the stuff from my crash, pike. That's all.
Barnes and Jantos, you would see this captain kind of like look down and shake his head and keep running in the opposite direction.
So they're running away from the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that they're running towards me.
Yes.
Okay. So if that's the case, I'm going to kind of drift to the side and like basically make room for them, just get out of their way altogether, with hopes that they don't give a fuck about me being there. Guess we'll find out.
And,
But yeah, I'll say in comms.
Vasio, you good?
Thumbs up above the head.
So I'm gonna keep the front of the vehicle kind of pointed towards them, in case shit goes down and I have to start shooting. But I'm gonna like drift to the side of this intersection to give them plenty of room to run past. And I'm going to do it non-threateningly because my character is mild-mannered and I actually suffer a penalty in intimidation, so I am completely non-intimidating when I'm doing this.
And the first like wave of the group makes it past you as you're moving, and when the captain, which is in the middle of the entirety of this group, makes it parallel with you, it looks in your direction. And it says,
I'm gonna...
Ghost, any idea what he just said?
it said it would be unwise to go in that direction.
Hey, to that point, are we playing where we get language skills? Or are we gonna say no?
I mean, we didn't even really know what they were. This is our first ones we've ever seen. So would it even make sense that we would know their language?
Yeah, but we might know like Russian, which would be pretty useful.
Or, I mean, we might know, like, the light may have given us the ability to understand these things. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. It's not my game. It's Sin's game. I'm just asking questions.
You can learn their language, but you probably won't start with it.
All right, I'm gonna find me a fallen bitch.
That being said, he makes a good point because there are some non-darkness languages that I would like. Are we playing with these start with languages equal to half your intelligence rule that Cliff uses, or?
He looks very unsure. How about you think about it, and if we have session 3, you let us know.
I'm leaning more towards yes.
Okay, cool.
Just because for you especially, it piqued my interest, so I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, I'm okay. I have ASL then.
Me too. See what I did there? Okay, so we get half our smarts in languages. So then I'll get 4 languages.
I get 2. I get 2. Fuck it, I'm taking. Yeah, I got it. I'm not saying my other language, but I'm taking ASL. Sin can see my other language on my sheet if he wants.
Okay, I'll figure something out with that then. All right, so he tells me it'd be unwise to go that way.
Block him.
How do I ask him what's over there?
The captain stops as you probably say this out loud. You try to talk to the ghost.
Try to be kind of discreet about it. How do you tell me?
Let me see.
I'm being super discreet about it.
Yeah, you are. Let me see. Yeah, you are.
He's got bigger fish to fry, man. He ain't worried about my bullshit.
Your ghosts in your head. I believe some of the leaders actually understand your language.
Yeah, but I don't think I should respond back like that.
What just happened? I didn't. Ignore that.
Can't. Too many die.
Your ghost is quiet for a few seconds and tells you the phrase and like how to say it verbatim, how you wanted to.
I'm gonna. Do I have to roll to attempt to say this in any way?
Say so.
Okay, I'm gonna say it choppy as fuck, like learning a new language. I'm gonna say it exactly like he phonetically told it to me.
Performance?
Unskilled it is.
Oh no. What'd you say about his mama?
Nice.
Hey, with a raise. I said that shit
Yeah.
perfect diction.
And the captain stops and like straightens his back, points with one of his sabers, and during the translation with your ghost, he says abominations that use dark magic.
How fucking corny do I want to be? Do I add the cornball trait to my character? This starts a downward spiral if I do.
Bet you won't do it.
What do I need to roll for this? Spirit, smarts. I'm trying to. So my guy, again, he's still operating under this function of like, we are humanity's last resort. So instinctively, he's gonna say something along the lines of like, don't worry, we're here to save you, or something like that. So what do you think I should roll for this? Smarts or spirit?
I say spirit.
I like how we went from being humanity's last hope to being humanity's last resort.
Well, I mean, we killed a bunch of shit already, so
That's what we got.
so with spirit, I am not gonna contain myself from saying it. So I'm gonna ask the ghost how to say, yeah, hope sounds better. We're humanity's last hope, so I'm gonna say something to him like, "Don't worry, we're here to save you."
I mean, would you even ask if you're, not even resisting saying it and they might speak your language, are you going to ask the ghost?
Oh yeah, no, I specifically am going to ask because I want them to hear it from their own words.
No.
Like, this is important. Like, I'm having like a communication with them, like in their language directly. So
Using your last roll, you say it pretty well.
and then with that, I'm not gonna wait for him to say anything else. I'm gonna just turn and I'm gonna start driving down where Chantos and Vasio are.
After hearing what he said, because I assume I could hear the part where he was asking the ghost to translate, so I know what he was saying. So after hearing what he said, I kind of slump my shoulders and go back and stop trying to pull the saddlebag off and start trying to pull the vehicle out of the window. Because apparently now we're doing this.
Hell yeah.
Like, you do hear a captain saying something as you walk off.
Do I pick up on what he said? Fuck yeah, I do. What'd he say?
You hear like your ghost chime on. Silence for a little bit. Then it says, he wishes you an honorable death in battle.
And I'm gonna say to the ghost,
Let's just hope the light works when we need it most.
and I'm gonna drive past Janto and Vasio. I'll slow down. I don't know if Janto's gonna want to jump on the back of my fucking high horse now, or if he's gonna want to.
Jumping on. Seems safer than the other guy.
There's my athletics to try to haul that out of the window.
You try to get the entire vehicle out?
Oh yeah, it's they're moving. Apparently we're not going for the ship anymore. We're going to fight something. So if we're gonna be on pikes, we're gonna be on pikes.
Going for the ships and fighting something, it's both in the same direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Same
I
thing.
mean,
Different sides of the same coin. We start getting our ass whooped. We're like, hey, there's ships here.
Bye.
We're down to our last revive guardian. Let's get on that ship and go.
Yeah, after about a half a minute of twisting and turning, you just slide it out of the window.
all right.
They said there's some sort of abomination that attacked them. We need to make sure we keep everyone around here safe, including them. Worst case scenario, if we can't win the fight, the ships are there.
Pulls out sniper rifle.
Just gonna aim it on my shoulder. It's like I'm a human bipod. Alright.
Alright, and traveling in this direction. As you're going, more groups, not as big as the initial group that ran past you. Some not really even accompanied by one of the larger captains, running away in the opposite direction. You see some limping, some holding their arms. You see some that you've seen this type before with 4 arms. This one you see with 3, holding its once wound on its side. A lot.
I was gonna say, anybody that looks at us, like if we're like within talking distance, I'm gonna repeat that phrase of "Don't worry, we're here to save you" to them in the fallen dialect.
As you say that, a few of them like their heads turn and watch you, and they like stand still as they watch you. Some of them nod, and they start speeding up as they walk. And as you get closer, a lot more of the buildings seem to be freshly destroyed. Lots of burning rubble bits on the ground that are sticking up over the swampy waters. A lot of burnt moss and vines and stuff that are climbing up some of these buildings. And after about 5 minutes of driving down this path, weaving and turning through all the rubble and destruction, make it to the base of one of these 4 giant buildings that still stand among the rubble, and interwoven between each of these 4 structures is a playground, nest, hive of these metallic structures, all built from scrap, other pieces of buildings, vehicles, and it looks like they're hung between the buildings with these metal rods and wires. And as you look up, there is a clear path for vehicles to start moving up. There is lots of entrances along the path and on the bottom for you to go in on foot. And you see lots of fallen still in this structure, attempting to make their way down if they're on the lower half. Some jumping, hoping to find a deeper spot of water. And if they're near the top of the buildings, you see a group rushing to fill one of the airships. And about halfway up in this building, you see one of the dregs get tackled off of one of the metal platforms by what looks like a walking skeleton. And you see a bright flash of bluish green light as it's gripping onto this drag and falling to the ground. And there is a huge cloudy explosion. And from the explosion where this drag got tackled off, you see a floating, another skeletal, chitin-looking figure. She looks over the destruction, waves her hand. You see this dark matter take over some of the structures around you, and she flies back into the building. And that's where we're gonna end it.
Look back to everybody and say,
those are definitely the bad guys.
Open the hive.
It came from the moon.
all right.
Sweet, sweet.
So we just gotta have Megan roll up a fallen character, and then we can just do this tomorrow. Let's do episode 3. She
Yeah.
could be a fallen.
Yeah, Cliff here trying to kickstart the House of Light like decades early. That's a champion.
My guy was told that he is the hope, so that's what
The
he's
last
going
hope
off
of the last hope of humanity.
Right, but these things did not attack us. The captain spoke to me like as an equal, I guess you would say, right? So he didn't speak down to me. He spoke to me.
He gave you a warning, yeah.
Gave me a warning, and then told me, to basically have a glorious death in battle, which sounds to me like it's some sort of like, there's
Sounds
some
like a
sort of
Norse
warrior
blessing.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, these guys aren't bad guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can
mean-
see it. I mean, I get it. I was just joking about you about to create. But we're grinding rep with a fallen faction. We're about to turn like
I'm good with it.
this branch of the Destiny continuality. By the time the city gets built, there's going to be a freaking fallen on the council of whatever.
I mean, that's
Well,
assuming
as we
that.
There could be a lot of reasons why this part of the history was not documented.
Right, and also it doesn't mean that we might not end up in the tower.
Right.
Yeah, we could be one of
See-
those lost factions that they talk about in hushed tones.
Or fucking we bite off more than we can chew, end up in the House of Glass, and come out after Destiny 2. Some fucking shit. We get caught up in freaking time shenanigans and just walk out like, oh.
We end up on the Exodus Blue and somehow make it to Neptune, and we're part of that faction. You know.
Yeah, like when Lightfall comes out, I'm like, hey, I got a bunch of fresh ideas.
All right. Well, I guess I gotta actually think about what the fuck I'm doing tomorrow. Huh?
Guess so.
Got 20 hours. Plenty of time.
Easy peasy.
Just skip all that sleep nonsense.
Oh, don't worry. I've been doing that anyways. Not for any of the right reasons. All right, cool. Well, thanks again for GMing this. I'm excited to continue this whenever we get a chance to. I like being a player. It's fun. Now I'm gonna get shoved back into my GM closet and
Right.
fed
Get
through a
back where you
slot in the
belong.
door.
Like I said, I've been wanting to run this campaign, so as long as there are people willing, I'm willing to keep GMing.
I'm having more fun with Avasio than I thought I would. I was like, I wanted to experiment and try a mute character, and it's challenging, but he's fun.
I like the party dynamic.
I'm still trying to figure out what the party dynamic is.
The fire team leader, the yes man, and the mute.
I don't think that's an actual dynamic.
I like how Bards is like politely trying to get everyone's opinion and everything, and everyone's just like, "Yeah, you
Sounds
do
good,
it, man."
I still haven't
like
picked
his-
up on it yet, though.
Yeah, he always asks these complicated questions, and I keep forgetting John's character's name.
John
John
Toes.
Toes.
It's fucking
John
John.
Toes.
John's
Oh.
Toes. Just remember John's Toes.
John's toes.
Okay, gotcha. You got that OnlyFeed account. Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
but yeah, John Toast is
Feetfinder.com.
always John Toast is always like yes, and then freaking Vasio just shrugs like, I ain't that good at charades.
I don't even know if Barnes has recognized that you're mute yet, or if you just don't talk a lot. I haven't realized that John Toast is out of his fucking mind yet.
Nope.
So we're good. Everything's fine.
We all have our own mental things.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's rate out to Defenders of Kobold, who's doing a Tales from the Loops playthrough. And we'll be back on this channel tomorrow night at 8 for something. I don't know what yet, but for something. It's gonna be fun, whatever it is. All right. Good night. That sounded confident, right?
Sure.
Sold it.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I'll be right
That's what I
back.
was hoping
Oh, I've been holding this in.
That's what I left 30 minutes ago for.
for.
Muted
That's the
myself.
last thing they heard on the stream before I stopped.
I was gonna say